Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Stony Brookfield. The Bourne Braves and the Brewster Whitecaps face off. We had a quick start to this game, little technical difficulties, so we're right in the action here in the first inning. Devon, Jarvis alongside Adam Gotkin for your coverage, and it should be a fun one. John LeGrand led things off just a moment ago, and he grounded out to third base, where Daniel Cuvée threw him out all the way to first base. Now, we have a fun lineup today, typically a 9-batter, now slots in here at 2. It's Riker Waite, the second batter out of Vanderbilt. Usually a switch hitter. He digs in from the left side today. First pitch. Called fastball down the middle. The pitcher he faces is out of Illinois. It's Tyler Schmidt, the right-hander. Stands at 6'3", 190. It's his first time pitching so far as a Brewster Whitecap. The 0-1 offering with one out and no one on here in the top of the first. Just low. Waite's going to move his legs out of the way to avoid getting hit. Brewster and Bourne so far this season, the first time they've played. Only 3 games, or now 4 games into this quick season, as Waite's going to lift one up. Shallow left field. Charging in is Sear. Instead, he gives way to Curse. Makes the grab just 5 feet back of the infield dirt.
Nice changeup on the outside part of the plate. He just got Waite to chase at it, and he barely got a piece of it off the end of the bat and a bit under. An easy pop-up, and that's 2 quick outs now for Schmidt.
And that's kind of the story for this Brewster team. They've got a phenomenal 1.7 team ERA. Cade Lewis, the next batter in. He takes the first pitch low.
New day, new pitchers. That can all change.
But that's really where they've shined so far this season, is that pitching staff. Their offense, not as glamorous. Lewis watches the 1-0 by. It skips in the dirt, probably right on home plate. Bourne traveling here to try and knock down the giants of the Cape Cod Baseball League. This Brewster team hasn't lost a game yet, and they've been stellar. Low-scoring games they've won. Here's the 2-0. Fastball high and outside. Lewis is going to watch it by. He's got a hitter's count, 3-0. LeGrand and Waite, the first 2 batters up, they went down. Lewis is the third batter. He's followed by Holcomb on deck and Hughes in the hole. Lewis had a great day yesterday, a double, as he watches the 3-0. In the dirt, he'll take his base.
It's a nice, patient at-bat from Lewis. He's really impressed so far. That's already the 4th walk that he's had in now just 4 games. It's always important to get a runner on in the first inning. Bourne's been very slow offensively out the gates so far this season. Have yet to bring 4 to the plate in a first inning. Braden Holcomb can end that here.
The right-hander Schmidt spent his season at Illinois. Had a 4.8 ERA in 15 games started. He only started for the Illini. Holcomb digs in from the right side. First pitch. Just misses off the inside. That's now 5 straight balls for Schmidt at the plate. Changeup, he tried to get in there. Only a 2-step lead at first base for Lewis. Guarding that bag is Colin Priest. Holcomb from the right side, ready for the 1-0. 2 outs on the board on the top of the first. Pitch is low and away.
Schmidt's had a really interesting career up to this point. Started off Division III Wisconsin lacrosse before jumping up to Illinois and becoming their Friday starter in his first year at the Division I level. Of course, now an invite to Cape Cod. He's got a chance to make the most of it. He's really skyrocketed up the boards this past couple of years.
The 2-0 also misses inside. 7 straight outside of the zone pitches for Schmidt. He goes off against a second-year Brave in Braden Holcomb, who's really got his day going yesterday. Had a double, his first RBI of the year. Exactly what you want to see from the sophomore out of Vanderbilt. 3-0 pitch. 1 runner on, 2 outs. That one's going to be straight down the middle. Holcomb with the take sign watches it by. Infield pretty straight up. Your defense looks like this. Cuvée at third base. That's short. Curse. Second base, it's Wentz and Priest at first. We saw Holcomb toying with a torpedo bat in batting practice. Says it's a little too heavy. Tries it sometimes. Look over to first for Lewis. Keeps him honest. He dives back in, head first safe. Likes to stick with that baby blue standard bat, I guess you call it. Here in the top of the first, Bourne looking to strike early. Got one runner on. It's a 2-out rally at the moment. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Holcomb. High and inside. Holcomb's going to take his base. 2 consecutive walks for the Whitecaps. That's going to put a runner in scoring position in Lewis. Last time Lewis was in scoring position, he got knocked in to score by Holcomb. This time it'll be Logan Hughes to try and do so. Hughes, a really solid player out of Texas Tech. All Big 12 first team. Had a great day against Harwich. Cape Cod player of the day with a double and a home run in the 9th inning against the Mariners, where the Bourne Braves fell short by just 2 runs. Has had no hits in the last 2 days, looking to maybe redeem himself, get back hot. First pitch, Schmidt gonna paint it in the bottom of the zone. 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Perfectly painted that one. Outside and low corner. Hughes had no chance.
Hughes rocks that right foot as he looks straight back at Schmidt. From the stretch, Schmidt works. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled back against the glove of Sosa behind home plate. We'll go into foul territory, and we'll do it again. Outfield looks like this. Sear in left field. Ty Head in center. Josiah Ragsdale in right field. Behind home plate, it's Alex Sosa calling signs. No pitch comm between Sosa and Schmidt. He stares down center, comes set at its belt. Gives a look to Lewis at second base, now comes home on the 0-2. Out into left field, this one could drop. Sear under it, and makes the grab, sidearms. Got scary for a moment, put 2 on with walks, but it's a 5-batter first inning for the Brewster Whitecaps to bring their bats out for the first time. We'll go over the Bourne lineup, as they're looking interesting as well. It was John LeGrant Astartes playing center field. Riker Waite batted second, playing shortstop. Cade Lewis out of Wake Forest bats third and plays third base. Braden Holcomb, the designated hitter, is from Vanderbilt. Logan Hughes from Texas Tech plays first base. Noah Franco bats sixth from TCU and is playing right field. Campbell Smithwick is batting seventh, the left fielder from Ole Miss. Jimmy Keenan from Wake Forest is batting eighth. He's the catcher. And Caden Doolin from Pittsburgh is the second baseman. And as far as the Brewster lineup goes, Adam, take it away.
The Whitecaps, Josiah Ragsdale leads off. He plays right field. Batting second is the second baseman, Dalton Wentz, a very talented freshman out of Wake Forest. Batting third, the key returner for Brewster, the third baseman, Daniel Cuvée, a projected top pick in the 2026 MLB draft. The designated hitter, Carson Tinney, a very talented player out of Notre Dame, one of the top guys in the portal. At first base, Colin Priest. In left field, Blake Sear. At second base, Alex Sosa out of NC State. The catcher, Alex Sosa out of NC State, makes his Whitecaps debut today. At shortstop is Carson Kurse. And in center field is Ty Head. Once again, it's Tyler Schmidt who takes the mound for the Whitecaps today.
Alex Valentin gets the ball from Scott Landers. He's a side armor out of Texas State, now in the transfer portal. Looking to make a name for himself this Cape League season. Maybe get picked up by a big school after the games he has the chance to prove himself in.
He's a really fun guy to watch. Puts all of his might out there on the mound. An all-effort pitcher, very vocal. He's going to let himself be heard out there. He's got a weird twitch, too, in his motion. Just an overall funky guy to watch, but he's a lot of fun.
The Brewster Whitecaps wearing their titanium white uniforms with pinstripes. Black numbers and lettering with a little bit of teal around it. First pitch. This one skied out into left field. It will be Riker Waite on it as he takes 5 steps back at shortstop and makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down, really quick. That was Josiah Ragsdale out of Boston College. Don't get to talk much about him as he goes down, so we'll instead talk about Dalton Wentz, a really solid switch-hitting freshman out of Wake Forest. Regular season stats so far in his 3 games. He's 1 for 9, looking to get a little bit hot here today, but 2 RBIs so far. 1 on the walk and 1 on an RBI double that he hit.
He's a really impressive player. The next great Wake Forest infielder, hit over 300 in his true freshman season.
First pitch from Valentin, just high on the fastball. working about 92 miles per hour on that one. Cuvée bats third. He's in the hole, or rather on deck, and Carson Tinney is on hole for this Brewster team. Working from the left side is Valentin. The pitch inside. Wentz is going to move his hands up to avoid. 2 balls, no strikes in the count here in the bottom of the first inning. Only 1 out on the board.
3 fastballs to start this outing from Valentin.
Valentin, a eccentric guy. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Wentz way out in front of it. Batting from the right side here. Like I mentioned, he's a switch hitter.
Went with the off-speed for the first time, a slider, and just straight up made Wentz look silly.
Valentin works with a fastball, changeup, and slider in his arsenal. The 2-1. Low and inside. It'll miss. 3 balls, 1 strike for Valentin. The one critique of Bourne's season so far has been their pitching staff. Maybe not as stellar as you'd hope. That was their identity last season when they made it to the Cape League Championship. Here's the 3-1. Foul back into the netting behind home plate. It'll make it a full count. No 1 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. As Wentz out of Wake Forest looks to open the Whitecaps stay with a hit. Bourne scoreless in the top of the first. Here's the pitch on the 3-2. Slider up the middle, and it'll get through. Doolin was chasing after it, couldn't quite get to it. As there's the opening hit of the day for both Bourne and Brewster.
Valentin just left that slider right down the middle. And if you do that against a talented hitter like Dalton Wentz, he'll make you pay. 97 miles an hour off the bat, back up the middle. Now you bring up one of the most dangerous hitters in the league.
How about Cuvée, 6'4", 235. He's a big guy from the righty's batter's box. Was with this Brewster team last year. Got an all-star selection in his campaign.
For his size, he is incredible when it comes to contact. Hit .372 this past year at Miami.
So the Hurricane steps into the righty's batter's box, back and inside. First pitch. Fouled straight down and toward the Brewster dugout. 0-1 to start. Wentz at first base. Looking across the field to his third base coaching box. Here's Valentin as he leans in from the stretch. No pitch comp for him. The 0-1 as Valentin looks at first and comes down. Slider misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Brewster and Bourne tied at 0. Cuvé's going to wave his blonde bat and get set here in the 1-1 count. Got first for Wentz. Hughes going to toss it straight back. So far this season, Cuvé's 4 for 12. Not too bad, batting .333. 2 doubles in his 4 hits. 1 walk and 1 stolen base. The 1-1. Golfed behind home plate into the netting again. That one foul makes it a 1-2 count. Defensively, the Braves look like this. Smithwick in left, LeGrand in center, Franco in right. Going from left to right in the infield, it's Lewis, Waite, Doolin, and Hughes. Valentin nods for his pitch. He likes it. Looks at first and comes home on the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Cuvée couldn't catch up to the fastball. They'll go back to the dugout for the first strikeout of the day for either side.
That was a fastball a couple inches high and outside. Cuvée just couldn't hold up. That's really the one part of his game that you could say needs some work. I mean, as expected for a massive power hitter, but that's already the 5th strikeout on this young season for Cuvée.
Next up, out of Notre Dame, it's Carson Tinney, the designated hitter, batting 4th. Tinney, the righty, standing at 6'3", just came off his sophomore year as the first pitch is swung on and missed at the bottom of the zone. A fastball gets by.
Another really intriguing prospect. Just finished up an incredible season at Notre Dame. He's going to be sought after by just about every single school in the country.
In the transfer portal, he batted .350 at Notre Dame. 13 doubles. The 0-1 pitch high and upstairs. 1-1 the count with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Wentz still there on first base, has no stolen bases this year, even though there seems to be frequent communication to the third base coaching box. Valentin comes set, facing first base, the lefty, ready to go. Here's the 1-1. Off speed, back into the netting.
You know, on paper, this is a really impressive Brewster lineup. The thing is last year you could say the same with Cuvée, also Ryder Helfrich, who's expected to come back, Arkansas's catcher, one of the top catchers in the country. The issue was the pitching was just an absolute disaster last season. They couldn't keep teams off the board, so we'll see if that gets fixed this season for Jamie Shevchuk, now in his 10th year.
The 1-2, skied out, right field side. It looks like it's going foul, and it will be out of play. Well, the pitching to this point has been really solid for the Whitecaps. At the moment, they've got a 1.7 ERA, but their batting average is to match. 174.
Yeah, it's very interesting how through 3 games it's a polar opposite of last year, but you know that's the Cape League, and even with some returners like Cuvée, things are so different from year to year.
Similarly, the Bourne Braves have switched. They're batting really good this year as the look goes over to first. Wentz slides in head first and safe. And their pitching was stellar last year. It hasn't quite been that so far.
Although really, other than the top of the first inning and opening day, or the bottom of the first inning and opening day, it hasn't been too bad, just 6 runs in 2 games.
Currently ranking 9th in ERA in the Cape Cod Baseball League are the Bourne Braves at 3.96. Usually you wouldn't think a team ERA would be 9th, but it's a pitcher's league here in Cape Cod. You're going to see much better ERAs for these teams than what you would typically see in collegiate ball or professional ball.
I also just wonder how much of that is errors impacting runs. I mean, Bourne scored a number of them after errors that have been unearned.
True. The 1-2 pitch. Runner goes, swung on and missed. To strike out to end things, and Bourne go 1, 2, 3, 4. Allow the third pitcher on. And just like that, they'll bring their bats back up. We want to thank our sponsors, and first, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at KeystonePlace@BuzzardsBay.com. Additionally, Marty's Chevrolet is your dealer for the people. They proudly support the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all their cars and trucks at Marty'sChevrolet.com. And go Braves. We'll take a short break here and step aside. We'll see you in just a moment.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Back here from Stony Brook Field, it's Devon, Jarvis, Adam Gotkin, and the third member of our team, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, will join us at the bottom of the second. We're living in the top of the second at the Brewster Whitecaps baseball complex. It's a fun game today. Bourne and Brewster. This Brewster team 3-0, a hot start to the season. Bourne looking to break that. They're 1-1-1 after a tie yesterday due to darkness against YD. Remain with Schmidt on the mound. It's Noah Franco in the lefty's batter's box. Just finished his freshman season at TCU. First team all Big 12 in that campaign. Here's the first pitch. Fastball high and away. Wanted to start against Franco. Franco, a really promising prospect for this Bourne team. Yesterday, 3 strikeouts, went 0 for 4, but the day before that, pinch hit. Got an RBI sac fly as the 1-0. It's called on the inside part of the zone.
Devon, you mentioned how last night's game ended early due to darkness. It's important to note Stony Brook Field here in Brewster, another field without lights, so that's in play.
Franco's going to lift one high, deep to right field. This one could be gone. It drops just before the wall and skips over. Never mind, excuse me, all the way around, got fooled by the fencing. Franco on the second pitch lifts one over the fence. Gives Bourne the 1-0 lead here in the top of the second. And what a showing from him, his first hit as a member of the Bourne Braves.
Yeah, those fences always make it difficult. Looked like it bounced over because it bounced right behind the fence, and you just see it bounce up, and you think it's not a home run. But, man, Franco got all of that one. 103 off the bat, just turned on a changeup and crushed it.
Absolutely crushed. Here's Smithwick, grounds one shortly to Smith on the mound, steps in and tosses to first. Second home run of the Bourne season, and the first one that the Whitecaps have given up all year.
This is a park where it's not very hard to hit it out if you can send the ball down the line. It's below 330 down both left and right field with a small wall. In center, it's at 395, so that's a little bit harder, but if you're a true pole hitter, you can do damage here at Stony Brook.
Lefties in the lineup for Bourne are LeGrand, Lewis, Hughes, Franco, and Smithwick. Right now, it's Jimmy Keenan up to base. Saw a first pitch strike to start. He digs in from the right side out of Wake Forest. Just finished his sophomore year. Here's Keenan, or rather his junior year. The second pitch. Called strike down the middle. He's in an 0-2 count. Year before that was at St. John's. Another one of those St. John's alumni, you could call it, that Coach Blankmeyer spent 20 years at. He's the bench coach for Bourne. The 0-2 skips in the dirt about 5 feet in front of the plate. Blocked by Sosa. Keenan, in his time at St. John's, was all Big East first team, all ECAC as well. Really solid player. Was in Orleans last summer. Probably a performance he would like to capitalize on this summer as he rockets one out into left field. That one will drop for a base hit. Fielded on one hop by Blake Sear. He tosses it to the shortstop Curse. And a quick single for Keenan.
That's another off-speed right towards the middle of the zone. Schmidt's just having a hard time locating right now. We saw those two walks in the top of the first. Now a home run and a single to start off the top of the second. This is the first time this year that Brewster's really had some doubts with a pitcher early on.
They've been really, really solid this year. Only 15 hits allowed on the season. No home runs until today. Caden Doolin is the 9-hitter for Bourne. He steps in. Puts this one just off the glove of Colin Priest. It drops in fair territory. Keenan gonna motor into second. He's there moving just one base. And Doolin, great job for him. Gets his first hit as a member of the Bourne Braves. And we've got runners on the pond for Bourne. Keenan, the lead runner at second.
Another just really well-hit ball by Bourne. The Bravos are just seeing it really well right now. I was a little bit surprised that Keenan stopped at second. The ball was kind of in no man's land down the right field line, but just not worth getting the out at third.
Didn't get a great jump off first base.
Top of the order up next, too.
LeGrand back up to the top. First pitch. Outside. He swung on the first pitch last time. Grounded out to third. Steps in here as a lefty with an OPS of 1,100. Really talented player. Draft eligible this coming summer. Spent 2 years at JUCO, Wabash Valley College, and then last season at St. John's. Usually the center fielder for Bourne. He's there today. The 1-0 pitch in the dirt, swung on. Keenan thought about third, doesn't go. Good stop by Sosa to keep it under control. LeGrand gonna streak his feet in the dirt. Little ritual he has. And steps back into the lefty's batter's box. Bourne up 1-0 in the top of the second inning. So one count with one out on the board. Runners on 1 and 2. Here's Schmidt from the right side. He fires. Foul back into Sosa. Sosa got caught in the abdomen. He seems to be all right. Possibly the fingers, rather.
Yeah, I think that did hit him on the finger based on how he just reacted. Stretching out that right throwing hand. He took a foul ball off the mask before. That went off the hand. It always hurts. Never something you want to see.
Sosa, really solid player out of NC State. Just finished his sophomore year there.
Looks like he's okay. Shakes the hand of the athletic trainer. Guess that means he can close the palm and stay in the game.
So he'll stay in it. LeGrand back into the lefty's batter's box. He goes against Schmidt, the righty. Keenan going to take a 3-step lead at second base. LeGrand crowding the plate, waves his bat, gets set for the fourth pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. High and inside. LeGrand doesn't even think about it. Wind blowing from right field to left field today. It's a pretty decent day so far. Cloudy and 67 degrees. It was a high of 70 earlier today. Supposed to hit 90s next week. Here's the 2-2 as LeGrand chokes up on the bat 2 inches. Slider misses high and outside. It's a full count.
I've been so impressed with the patience of not just LeGrand at the plate right now, but this entire Bourne lineup. They're really making things tough for Schmidt, making him work, forcing him to really find the zone. They're not going to swing at anything outside.
A lot of long at-bats. Bourne grabbed 2 walks in the first inning. Fastball inside, called strike 3. LeGrand was almost making the walk to first.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit inside to me, and LeGrand's not happy with it, shaking his head still as he goes back into the dugout.
Didn't love the call. First strikeout on the day for Tyler Schmidt. Now he sees Riker Waite. Also put Riker Waite away. Popped out to shortstop. 2 outs on the board here as Bourne leads 1-0 in the top of the second inning. Schmidt comes set at his chest, looks at second, comes home. Breaking ball called for strike 1. 78-mile-per-hour slider. Waite a really solid guy. Only 3 at-bats in his career. Or with Bourne at least. 1 for 3 so far. A whole bunch of walks, sack flies, and others. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled toward the Bourne dugout. Hits the screen that protects the coaches and batters. Waite, an exciting player. Coach Landers in his first 2 games seeing Riker Waite, he said, okay, this guy can play in the top of the order. In his last 2 appearances, batted 9th. Shifting over from second base to shortstop, replacing Justin LeBron. Now he's got an 0-2 count. Here's Schmidt looking to close out the inning. The pitch. Fastball fouled straight back to the defense behind home plate. Bourne leading 1-0. We're living in the top of the second as a little bat boy battle behind home plate. It's Brewster who wins that one. Waite with runners on 1 and 2. It's Doolin on first, Keenan on second. Neither of them guarded as they take their lead. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Bourne get 1 from Franco. A home run over the right field fence. We'll take a short break here from Stony Brook Field and return in a few minutes. Thanks for staying with us.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else. Dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Devon, Jarvis, Adam Gotkin, Ariel, Tamir-Pinsky joining us at the end of this inning. What a top of the second for the Bourne Braves. A home run by Noah Franco on the first pitch. Just rocketed it out into right field. Now it's the Bourne defense back out with Alex Valentin after a very strong first inning, looking to do it again. Bourne leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. First batter he faces, Colin Priest, the first baseman sophomore out of Clemson. Here's the first pitch. Fastball, a half swing by Priest. He puts it into the netting above the Brewster dugout. A defensive swing, it's 0-1. Priest out of Clemson, was the starting first baseman for the Tigers. Batted .240 in 59 games, the 0-1. Thought about swinging, a called strike nonetheless.
You know, I'm personally a fan of Priest, not for anything that he's done on the field, but he was born in Syracuse, New York.
Oh, there you go. For all of our Orange fans. Adam, currently a student there. 0-2. Skips in the dirt. 1-2.
His parents both played basketball at Cazenovia College, which unfortunately just shut down.
He did grow up in Mount Dora, Florida. Unfortunately, didn't stay native to central New York.
Don't blame him. Too snowy up there.
I agree. I'm from Ithaca. The 1-2. Fastball just missed outside. To clarify, I go to Ithaca. I'm not from Ithaca. Was the preseason number 30 first baseman in the nation, according to D1 Baseball. The number 74 sophomore. And played his freshman year as a Wolverine at Michigan. All Big Ten freshman selection. 2-2 slider misses inside. It's a full count. Bourne leading 1-0 as we're in the bottom of the second inning. No outs on the board, bases clear, and Priest in a full count. He waves his red lumber from the left side. Lefty-lefty battle. Here's the pitch. Just low. And the first walk of the day that Valentin's going to give up. Runner on first in Priest. No stolen bases this year. Let's see how he goes. And now he's followed up by Blake Sear. Sear wearing a sweatshirt under his pinstripe jersey. I'm wearing a quarter zip. I'm personally a little hot. I can't imagine a baseball player right now.
Yeah, it's warm out here. Not much breeze like we've had the past couple of days.
Valentin from the stretch fires. Off speed. Catches the outer edge of the zone. Sear, the junior out of Florida, stands at 5'11", 190. In his game so far, he's 2 for 8. 4 walks drawn. Not too bad there. The 0-1 skied. It'll be foul. As a Gator, batted .254 in 59 games. 9 home runs. Florida was eliminated in the NCAA Regionals on June 1st by East Carolina. He crowds the plate from the right side. A lefty in Valentin, throwing to the righty in Sear. Here's the 0-2. High and upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Sear, really solid player. Still looking for his first extra base hit, though does have a home run and 2 RBIs, I guess. Does have that extra base hit. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Good stop by Keenan behind home plate, the catcher out of Wake Forest. He'll ask home plate umpire Ryan DeMare for a new ball and return it to Valentin on the mound. A little dancing at first base going on from Priest. Trying to draw as much attention he can from the southpaw in Valentin. Valentin's going to get his signal from Keenan. Get ready to fire on the 2-2 pitch. Here's the delivery. Off speed, grounded to third base. Lewis fields and trips as he tries to make the grab. Couldn't make the throw anywhere, and it looks like he may be a little shaken up after the play. The sophomore out of Wake Forest, a supreme talent for this Bourne Braves roster. Just trying to walk off, maybe tweak something. He's wanting to stay in the game. Looked like there was something in the dirt just 3 feet right of third base where he fielded it that kind of messed him up. Riker Waite was coming there to smooth it out.
Yeah, looks like he's okay. Gives a thumb up to Scott Landers, who was walking out of the dugout. That's just really unfortunate. The dirt monster got him. Doesn't look like he's hurt at all. Maybe just, a little bit shaken after falling to the ground, but he's kind of laughing it off a little bit.
Scott Grimes, the third base coach, also helping to get rid of all those dirt monsters.
Number 13.
Really had an opportunity to turn 2 there, if not get at least 1 out. Instead, it'll be runners on first and second, Sear and Priest. And Sosa now steps in from the left side. His first time up today as we're in the bottom of the second. Bourne still up 1-0. Runners in scoring position for Brewster. Valentin going to steer daggers at second, come home. Slider misses inside. Ducking out of the way is Sosa. Sosa, the catcher today, has taken a little bit of a beating behind home plate, but steps in here fiery, looking to make some damage out of lefty's batter's box. The 1-0, fastball low. Standing at 6'1" from Vieira, Florida. Didn't play last game, but collegiately batted .278 as a part of the Wolfpack. The 2-0 pitch. Slider just inside. 3 balls, no strikes against Sosa now. Carson Kirsten on deck, Ty Head in the hole. That'll be the entire lineup for Brewster if they don't have a double play or triple play. Here's the 3-0 pitch from Valentin. Fastball down Broadway. He'll get the called strike.
Really important to locate the zone on that pitch. The last thing you can do is load the bases with no outs. Especially unfortunate after Bourne just took the lead. The first time this season they've scored the first run.
Valentin working hard. Looks at second, comes home, the 3-1. Racked, finds the gap between third and short. Breaks given to Priest as he storms into third base. And just like that, the bases are loaded. Good field by Smithwick in left field to hold the runner. But now a tough spot for Valentin after a stellar first inning. He's in a tough spot.
Very tough spot. This is where you see what he's made of. There's really 2 types of pitchers. Those that thrive under pressure and those that, once things get tough, can just completely unravel. First outing of the season for Valentin, and now we get to see what he's made of.
Valentin going to go against the righty in Carson Kurse here. The sophomore out of Georgia Tech has played in 2 games so far, only 1 hit. Here's the first offering. Fastball, a called strike 1. Inside part of the zone.
The strikeout here would just be massive. Get that first out without any chance of a run coming in. But at the end of the day, if you can keep it to 1 run coming in, then you're perfectly fine.
Bourne 2 times this season have come back strong after the opponent scored. Brewster trying to do it here. Pitch lifted foul, first base side. 0-2 count. Perfect for what Valentin needs. Kurse, a 2-year starter at Georgia Tech. A shortstop and third baseman there. Playing shortstop for the Whitecaps today. Waves his bat, settles into the right side. The 0-2 pitch, high. Just by the Whitecap logo on Kurse's helmet.
Valentin's now gone 3 straight fastballs in this count. Wouldn't be shocked if he mixes it up with a changeup here.
The 1-2 pitch. This one a fastball lifted high toward first base side, close to the dugout, and no play. No catch as Logan Hughes made the grab in the dugout. He was out of play and immediately signals to the headphones, almost signaling a challenge.
Yeah, we don't have any reviews here, unfortunately.
Calling a wide receiver safe call as well, makes the catch. Hughes doesn't like it, but he laughs it off and nearly had the snag in foul territory. Scott Landers, on the other hand, seems to be a little bit more serious about it, really does want to see the call. Now a conference between the umpires. Ryan DeMare and George Stransky going to talk it over in the first base path. Pablo Bustamante also going to join them.
It's really unfortunate. We couldn't fully see what exactly happened where we're situated just a couple feet to the right of home plate at field level. The dugout is kind of blocking some view as they do keep it safe on the field, but I guess the question is whether or not Hughes was standing out of play, if he was in the dugout or if he was in one of the restricted areas, the camera wells.
Just like football, it's all that matters is where your feet are placed.
Ball also could have tapped off the net.
Good point, too. 1-2 will do it again. Valentin shakes and fires. Way outside on the slider. 4 consecutive fastballs to start there, Adam. You mentioned it. Finally, he goes away from it. That was instead a changeup. Southpaw looking at the pitch comp. Gets his signal. Bases loaded in the bottom of the second. Bourne up 1-0. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball low and inside. Great eye by Carson Kearse. The righty works this count full after 3 consecutive balls. It's Priest, the game-tying runner. Sear on second, Sosa on first. The pitch out into left field. This one will drop. Priest gonna score. Sear rounds third base, puts on the brakes, but an RBI single for Carson Kearse. A huge hit to tie the game. Bourne and Brewster tied at 1.
Valentin went with the fastball upstairs. Kearse just met him up there. 92-mile-an-hour pitch, 91 off the bat. Scott Landers is going to head out onto the mound to speak with his pitcher.
A really good first inning for Valentin. Only saw 4 batters with 2 strikeouts, and it kind of just got unraveled after Colin Priest, the first batter of the second inning, got walked. Second batter in Sear got on with a unfortunate base hit to Cade Lewis, who got caught with wrong footing and fell over. Couldn't make the play at first or even try for a turn 2 double play.
Now batting for the Brewster Whitecaps, the center
And then
fielder
since
from
then,
North
2
Carolina
consecutive
State,
base hits to
number
left
24.
field. Head now the batter from the left side. He's got the torpedo bat, a Brewster Whitecap teal, tipped lumber. First pitch, he swings and puts it behind the netting. 0-1 to start. Valentin doing a good job with these last 2 batters, getting ahead in the count. Couldn't put Kearse away, though, after having an 0-2 count. Valentin going to look at his right wrist for the pitch call. Here's the 0-1. Nice slider that catches the inside part of the zone. Once again, an 0-2 count for Valentin. Still needs that first out. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. It's a 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball just tipped and dropped out of the glove of Keenan. Nearly had that one. We'll do it again. Sear is the game-leading runner at third base. He's 90 feet away from making this a 2-1 ball game. Sosa at second, Kearse at first. No outs. Bottom of the second. A shake from Valentin. The 0-2 fire. Upstairs in the fastball. Valentin really good command early in these at-bats. For at least Head and Kearse, he's struggled finding that command as the at-bat develops. Bases loaded. It's a 1-1 ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball outside. That one just missed by about 2 balls.
And again, Valentin starts off the at-bat, getting ahead 0-2 and then loses the control.
The 2-2 pitch from Valentine. Swung on and missed. Tipped it back in the glove of Keenan. He keeps it secure. And the first down comes by way of strikeout, his third of the day.
Real nice slider there. The slider's been working pretty well so far in this game for Valentine.
Number 7, Josiah Ragsdale.
Brewster's having most of its success against fastballs. All the hits this inning are against fastballs.
Valentine steps back in. He works a hybrid stretch and wind. The 0-0 pitch, chopped grounder, second base. Rather, it will be Houston field. He can't do so. No out at first. Sear comes in to score, and Brewster has a 2-1 lead.
Just an awkward play at first base for Hughes. He tried to grab it with both hands, but as he did that, he almost knocked it out of his glove with the right hand, with his left hand, with the glove on his right hand as a lefty. Would have been a tough play anyways to try and beat out Ragsdale just where that ball was hit, and with the pitcher Valentine coming off the mound, but still, that's tough. And another bad break for Bourne, even though that's called as an infield single.
First pitch to Wentz, swung on, fouled back in the glove of Keenan. He returns it to Valentine. Yeah, it's that second time where a play that should have been at least an out doesn't go their way. It all stems back to that Cade Lewis mishandle at third base. The 0-1 pitch, fastball up and in. Brewster now leading 2-1. Dalton Wentz, the next batter. He digs in from the right side with a square stance to the plate. Out of Wake Forest, the switch hitter. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Valentine. Fastball swung on and missed. 1-2 count. Bottom of the second inning, only one out right now, and the bases are still loaded. Valentine trying to work out of this jam, and limitation the name of the game right now. How can you make this not spiral out of control? A one-run lead for Brewster's still salvageable for Bourne. The 1-2 out into right center field. Fielding it is Franco. He will grab it. Going to try at third base, but tagging up from third.
Oh my goodness. What? Wow.
Franco made the throw into third base.
And it was in time, so the run doesn't count coming home.
Run doesn't count. So, Curse tagged from second and got out. An amazing throw by Franco. It skipped once or twice, and the tag applied by Lewis. Brewster doesn't love the call. And just like that, you see the limitation. The third member of our team, in Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, now joins us. Ariel, what do you have?
Thanks, Devon. Our starting pitcher for the Braves tonight, Alex Valentine, is playing against his old team on the Cape here. He played for the Whitecaps last season for about 4 weeks. When he got here, he gave his old coach a hug. He said he texted his host family about starting against Brewster tonight. He said the Whitecaps took care of him last year, and it was a great experience. Alex didn't have a linear path in that college recruitment process. He wasn't able to play in the perfect game recruiting process at first because of expenses, but after raising money, he was invited out to a showcase. He landed at Texas State after his freshman year. Alex told me now it's a dream come true to see his hard work paid off, playing at the highest level with the best summer collegiate league in the country. He told me his strategy for tonight is to get his opponent mentally first, because at the end of the day, baseball is a mental game, and I think we just saw his mental capabilities getting out of that inning with just 2 runs scored by Brewster, limiting that.
Valentine sure is a mental player. We saw his college highlights, how excited he gets during games.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's a guy who went viral a couple times this season. The shimmy shakes, just, he's never able to be still on the mound, always got some crazy celebrations. And as Ariel said, just so impressive to get out of that inning. I can't believe that throw from Noah Franco. I mean, he's a two-way, so he's got a great arm. We all knew that, but I don't know the last time I've seen a guy in right field throw to third, they get the out there, and get that out before the runner crosses home. Because if the runner crossed home a second before, then he's safe.
It's insane. It hopped about 2 or 3 times. I almost disregarded it at first, but an exceptional throw from Franco showing his defensive ability beyond just what he can do on the lefty's batter's box. He already put one over the fence. Cade Lewis, the first batter, the lefty, out of Wake Forest. He goes against Schmidt. First pitch, paints the inside low corner. Lewis here looking to get his day going. Walked in the first inning. Stranded at second base. The 0-1 pitch for Schmidt as he works from the windup. Skips in the dirt. That one's going to catch Lewis in the right foot. An easy hit by pitch to start this inning.
And now let's see how Bourne responds. You said this before, Devon, but Bravos have been really good at bouncing back after allowing runs this season. You give up 2 in the bottom of the second after a couple unfortunate errors. Now, can these bats pick up the pitching staff and pick up Valentin?
Bottom of the fourth, YD took the lead yesterday. Top of the fifth, Bourne responded with 3 runs. Top of the third, Chatham on Sunday scored 1. Bourne responded in the bottom of the third with 2 runs, so they're looking to do it again. Braden Holcomb, the batter, with a close stance in the righty's batter's box. Runner on first is Lewis. First pitch, slider that catches the inside part of the zone, well located by Schmidt. Holcomb got his first RBI of the season yesterday on a double where he drove in Cade Lewis.
It's been a very pitcher-friendly strike zone so far, especially the width of the plate.
That one a little more inside. As a look over to first, sees Lewis slide in safe. Lead is 2-1 right now for Brewster. Top of the third inning, Bourne looking to respond. No outs with 1 on. Here's Holcomb in the batter's box. The pitch from Schmidt. He works from the stretch, kick and deal. Fastball grounded to short, picked up by Kurse. He flips to second base, and he's out. Lewis with a feet-first slide. Probably could have had it with a little bit more accurate foot placement, but it looks like his right foot was lifted as the ball came in. So a good job by Kurse to get the lead runner. 1 out on the board. Holcomb reaches on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that was a really close play. At first I thought that Lewis had beat it out, and it seems as if Scott Lander thinks the same thing because he's going to go out and ask for an explanation.
I think it looks like Lewis did beat it out, but that lifted foot maybe didn't see contact to the bag as the throw came in. Dalton Wentz, the second baseman, caught it.
Well, they had to get the tag down if he initially beat it, right? The force out is only the first time he touches the bag.
Correct.
So if he hit it and then the foot lifted up, you got
to
tag
have
it.
that the foot never
hit
contact.
The plate. That's true. Never at the base.
Logan Hughes, the lefty batter out of Texas Tech. Look over to first at Holcomb. He's tagged on his back. Returned safely. 2-1 lead for Brewster. Top 3. 5 hits right now for Brewster, only 3 for Bourne. All 3 of those hits came in the second inning for the Braves. Here's Hughes, a home run on Saturday. Could drive in 2 runs right now with 1. Take the lead back. Another look over to first for Holcomb. He slides head first this time. Holcomb, a dangerous runner in the base path. He's really, really fun. A bigger guy, but already has 3 stolen bases on the year. Here's the first pitch. Late to it was Hughes. He puts it above the Brewster dugout and foul. That one a 88-mile-per-hour fastball for Schmidt. Usually works in the low 90s. A deep breath by Schmidt as he peers in at home for the call. Calling balls and strikes is Sosa behind home plate. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball. Great location. A called strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Holcomb on first. Going to take a 3-step lead. Shuffle to make it even 4 or 5. He gets attention from Schmidt on the mound, but he refocuses home. 1 out. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Schmidt. He'll fire. Fastball right back up the middle. A big hit. Holcomb going to storm over to third base. The throw will be in time. The tag applied. Didn't even apply. He probably could have had the tag. A great move by Holcomb using that speed. He doesn't look fast, but if you time him, he is. And now runners on the corners for the Bourne Braves.
Hey, Braden Holcomb's just a pure athlete, and he was going to third right away. Now another chance for Noah Franco. Had that home run his first time up. All he's got to do now to tie this game is send the ball into the outfield.
Franco in his first time up on Sunday. Got in as a pinch hitter, sacrifice fly. And that was quick and easy work for him at home against Chatham. Was able to drive in Braden Holcomb, so look at that. Has an opportunity to do the same thing again against the Whitecaps.
Also look for a potential double steal.
2-1 ball game. Bourne scored on a double steal just yesterday against YD. Franco from the left side is ready to go. A look at first from Schmidt. He'll throw it over there to check on Hughes. He dives in headfirst safely. Holcomb with Coach Limoncelli on third base. Usually Scott Landers. Limoncelli's been there for today and yesterday's game. First pitch. Franco with a big swing back in the netting behind home plate. We've seen what Noah Franco can do. Had 2 home runs on February 16th of this year at San Diego when he was playing for the Horned Frogs. How exciting would that be to do again? Franco with a wide stance near to the plate. Gets ready. A righty-lefty battle as Schmidt's going to do another look over to first. Bourne only 1 pitch to try that double steal. They haven't done it yet. Franco waves his bat. Taps the plate, points, and gets set. Schmidt going to look for his sign and look over to first again. Hughes for the 3rd time checked on the pickoff attempt.
Of course, if this was Major League Baseball,
you only get 2.
That would be a ball.
2-1 lead for Brewster, top of the 3rd inning. There's 1 out and runners on the corners. Schmidt going to come set just below his chin. Comes home with the pitch. Just upstairs. 1-1 the count. Franco going to look over to the dugout for Scott Landers. No signage given. Has an opportunity to drive in a run with a sacrifice fly. Braden Holcomb, a speedy player, would have no trouble scoring on the tag.
There's a ton of room down the left field line. Brewster shifted pretty far to the right against the power hitting lefty. If Franco could just poke it out there, that'd be perfect.
Franco set to go. Chokes up on the bat by 1 inch. The 1-1 pitch. Way high. Check over to third. Snap throw. He is out. An amazing throw by Alex Sosa. Telepathic communication to Daniel Cuvée, who places the tag. And the lead runner for Bourne heads back to the dugout. Now just Hughes on first.
Yeah, now the frustration is really boiling over because that's the 3rd call already in this game that Scott Landers has disagreed with. That's a tough call to make if you're Pablo Bustamante because he's the 3rd base umpire, but with how they're configured, he's playing really where the 2nd base umpire is. So he doesn't have the greatest view there.
The count was lost. It's 2-1. 2 outs on the board now, so that sacrifice fly is gone. Brewster up 2-1, top of the 3rd inning. Runner on first is Hughes. Franco gets set with an open stance. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Schmidt. Skips in the dirt. Hughes going to go back into first base. He's already been checked 5 times on a pickoff attempt. With that arm from Sosa already showed off to third base, I think these Bourne batters are going to be a little bit more conservative. Franco adjusts his brim on his Bourne Brave helmet. From the stretch, here's Schmidt. He comes set. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. A big hack by Franco again. Couldn't find anything to it. Strike number 2, and now the count is full. Music goes on mistakenly for just a moment. Inning's not over yet. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Bourne looking for a tying run. The 3-2 cracked right side of the infield, but foul. And it looks like Noah Franco breaks his bat. I think the first broken bat of the Bourne season.
Yeah, that just shattered right in between the handle and the barrel. Bat pretty much stayed intact, but you could hear it right away and tell that it splintered.
So Franco stays alive in the at-bat, fouling that one off. Had a home run earlier today. Runner on first is Hughes. Infield playing straight up, guarding the bag is Colin Priest, about 10 feet behind it. Schmidt gonna shake off his first 2 pitches. Finally, he gets to the sign he likes. Brings glove to chest from the stretch, the full count pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Just like that, Schmidt gets out of a jam, and the Bourne Braves go back to the dugout without capitalizing on runners in scoring position. We'll send it to a short break. We're heading to the bottom of the 3rd when we come back.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network, it's Devon Jarvis and Adam Gotkin, 3rd member of our team, and Ariel Tamir-Pinsky will join us in just about an inning. Well, Bourne had a lot of opportunities to score in the top of the 3rd, couldn't capitalize on any of them. Now it's Brewster's turn, bottom 3. They lead 2-1, and Valentine stays on the mound for Bourne. Southpaw delivers a pitch high and inside against Daniel Duvet. Returner to this Brewster team was an all-star in the Cape League last year. He reigns from Miami. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Off speed, well located in the zone. Called for strike 1.
Duvet went down swinging on a fastball way outside the zone his first time up.
A really talented player at 6'4", the 1-1. Off the plate outside, nearly in the left-hander's batter's box.
A lot of shades of former Whitecap Aaron Judge and Daniel Cuvée, just with the size and pure power.
2-1 pitch from Valentine. Fastball way inside. Valentine, in the first 2 innings, was really solid with command. 2 strikeouts in the first inning. In the second inning, allowed 2 runs, but he would get ahead in counts early. This time, he's in a 3-1 count against the opening batter. Pitch is inside again, and Duvet will take his base. Now it'll be Carson Tinney's turn. In the transfer portal right now, out of Notre Dame, though. It's been his first 2 seasons there. Cuvée on first. The pitch, high and outside. Tinney, in his first time up, went down swinging to end the first inning. With the second consecutive strikeout for Valentine at the time. The 1-0 pitch. Slider catches the bottom of the zone. The count 1-1 with no outs in the bottom of the third inning. Brewster with a 2-spot in the second gave them the lead after Bourne scored 1 in the top of the second. So they're up 2-1. Bourne had a real chance last inning, couldn't capitalize. The 1-1 pitch just curves inside. The slider makes it a 2-1 count. Cuvée on first base. So far this year, 1 stolen bat. Big guy just like Holcomb has speed. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and fouled back into the glove of Keenan. Falls out. Makes it a 2-2 count. Bottom of the third inning, and Bourne in a couple tough spots so far. Looked really good in the first. Second, allowed 2 runs, but got out of a bases-loaded jam. Here's the 2-2 pitch with no outs and a runner on first. Valentine's going to look over to Hughes at first base. No tag applied, as Cuvée is going to get in there safely.
Cuvée just took a couple of stutter steps towards second base. That's what caused Valentine to step off and keep him home at first.
Valentine peers at first base from the stretch. He fires at home. High fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3 and Tinney. 2 strikeouts today. Valentine gets his third. Rather, his fourth.
Now batting.
Next up, Colin Priest out of Clemson. The lefty batter is going to go off against the southpaw pitcher. 1 out on the board. This is really the earliest they've got this out. Looking at last inning, it took quite a while. Runner goes, pitch is high, called for a ball. Tag applied by Riker Waite. He's safe as Cuvée gets the stolen bag. Great jump on that one, and he's now planted in scoring position for a guy in Priest who doesn't have an RBI yet this season, still searching for his first hit. His third game as a Whitecap. Brewster looking to add to their total, up 2-1 right now over Bourne. Bottom of the third inning. The 1-0 pitch. Slider, that one going to clock Priest right in the numbers. On his back. He'll take his base at first. And Bourne now have to deal with runners on 1 and 2.
Control has been a bit of an issue here for Valentine after that first inning. Even though he's only walked 1, he's really struggled to find the zone at times. 62 pitches, just 34 of them strikes.
Those walks, the real killer for Bourne this season so far. Priest, who scored in the second, got on with a walk. We saw those walks scored from Chatham. As a pitch is cut on and missed by Blake Sear. Against Chatham, the Bourne Braves walked in a run. Against Harwich, the opening run was scored on a bases-loaded walk.
Last night against YD, 2 guys who scored walked. 1 was hit by a pitch.
The 0-1 pitch, just inside. Blake Sear out of Clemson, Florida. He was one of the 2 who scored in the second. Got on with a base hit to third base when Cade Lewis couldn't quite field it correctly when his feet got caught up. Runners on 1 and 2 with 1 out on the board. Double play depth for the infield. The 1-1 pitch. Out into left center field. Chasing after it is Smithwick. It'll drop once as LeGrand can't get to it in center. Runners advance 1 bag, and the bases are loaded again for the Bourne Braves. For the Brewster Whitecaps.
That was another awkward play. This has just been a really weird game so far. LeGrand that time, it seemed like he got a good read on it. That's why Cuvée, who was at second, took a few seconds before heading towards third, and LeGrand tripped up, picked up the ball on a knee, and then was able to stand up and throw it in to keep Cuvée at third. But overall, just odd.
He slid in for the ball, almost looking like he was trying to get it cleanly. But it didn't really look like he had a chance to get it cleanly, so he got on one hop. Bases loaded, first pitch against Sosa, a called strike. Valentin was able to allow only 2 runs in this situation last time.
That was with no outs, so at least in a bit of a better spot now.
Next pitch, out into right field. This one will drop and score at least one. Cuvée scores. Turning for home is Priest. He scores standing up. As fielded in right field by Franco, he couldn't get to it soon enough, and Brewster adds to their lead. They're up 4-1. Action in the bullpen for the Bourne Braves as Valentin once again not pitching his best, and the Brewster Whitecaps add to their total.
Once again, a slider that gets hit well. Valentin just putting pitches in the middle of the zone, and these Brewster bats are making him pay.
Runners on the corners. First pitch, outside. Carson Kurse out of Georgia Tech had an RBI back in the second. Right now in the bullpen for Bourne is Jonathan Stevens out of Alabama. The 1-1 pitch, a called strike in the bottom part of the zone. Kurse got that RBI with a base hit to left field. Do it again with one here. Runner on third is Sear. The 1-2 pitch, high and inside. No attempt from Kurse. Sosa with a huge 2 RBI single, extending this lead for Bourne. They've only been in this much of a deficit once before. That one against Harwich. The 2-1 pitch, slider high and outside. Kurse was shaking his head already when the pitch was halfway to the plate. Knew it wasn't going to be a strike.
It was encouraging in that Harwich game that even after going down 6-0 in the first, Bourne never gave up. They're looking for the same thing here. Keep this at a 3-run game and battle back in.
Really need to get out of this one. A double play could end it. Valentin looks at first and comes home. Fastball high and inside. And Valentin walks, the bases loaded. Kurse on first. Now we give it to Ty Head. He went down swinging back in the second inning. Represented the first out of that inning. And now there's a big chance that Brewster can add to their total again. 2 runs already here in the bottom of the third. They lead 4-1. First pitch here to Ty Head, the lefty. Catches the inside part of the zone. A well-placed ball by Valentin. You imagine he's on a short leash right now. Scott Landers, the pitching coach who resides on the bench, has some action going in the bullpen with Stevens. The 0-1 pitch as Valentin shakes and fires. Fouled above Brewster's dugout. An 0-2 count. What a big strikeout this would be. Force outs anywhere if you can get this to 2 outs. The 0-2, fastball upstairs. Mid-90s Valentin's working right now. Has almost upped his velocity from the start of this game.
Valentin's done a good job of getting ahead in counts. The issue is from there he's lost it. Multiple times he's gone up 0-2, then walked.
The 1-2 pitch. That one just a little bit low.
Just can't seem to put away these batters.
Otherwise, he's been doing a solid job. The 2-2 pitch. Right back up the middle, fielded by Waite on one hop. Stops on second. The throw to first in time. A huge double play. Good fielding by the defensive Smith in Riker Waite. And that will be a double play to end it. Brewster once again get 2 runs. And we send things to the top of the 4th inning when we come back. Stay with us on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Top of the 4th time from Stony Brook Field. Adam Gotkin and Devon Jarvis with you here on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network. The Bravos trailing the Brewster Whitecaps 4-1. Tyler Schmidt back onto the mound, the starter for Brewster. He's been solid so far. He's given up a lot of contact and a number of runners on base, but given up just the 1 run. His first pitch to Campbell Smithwick is a fastball upstairs. The count 1-0.
Did come off a home run from Noah Franco, and Bourne's had a lot of opportunities, especially back in that 3rd inning, to add to their total, but just couldn't capitalize. Big they do it here.
Schmidt looks in, comes into the wind. Here's the pitch. Catches the lower part of the zone. The count 1-1. The Bravos had 2 outs on the base paths in the last inning, with Cade Lewis and Braden Holcomb out. Holcomb on a back pick to 3rd. Right-hander Schmidt looks in, into the wind. Here it is. A slow slider, misses inside.
A lot of close calls this game. Some pretty detrimental ones, too, to Bourne. That pickoff attempt at 3rd being one of them.
Smithwick 0 for 1 today. Bounce back to the pitcher his first time up. The right-hander looks in, the 2-1. Low again. That time bounces in front of the plate. Smithwick ahead 3-1. Schmidt has walked 2 so far today. Both those came back in the 1st inning. He's also hit a batter. The 3-1 popped up very high in the air towards shallow left center field. Sear, the left fielder, moving in. He looks up and makes a basket catch for out number 1. It's been an interesting game with these 2 pitchers. Schmidt has fallen behind in counts continuously, but worked his way out of it. Well, for Bourne, Valentine has got it ahead of counts and then fallen behind and given up hits and walks.
Yeah.
Either way, now Jimmy Keenan stands in with 1 out and Bourne down by 3. Schmidt into the wind, the pitch. Fastball just misses low and outside, 1-0.
Keenan, a good bounce back day today, went down 3 times swinging yesterday and led off the 2nd, with a good base hit to left field.
The 1-0. Fastball upstairs. Keenan ahead 2-0. Once again, Schmidt falling behind in a count. Big right-hander takes a long look in. Staring straight ahead, past his black glove and into the eyes of his catcher, Sosa. In the wind, here's the 2-0. Upstairs fastball, a called strike, 2-1. That at 89 miles an hour. Schmidt has taken a few off as he's gotten deeper into this game. The 2-1 pitch popped up very high, this time first base side. Priest in front of the Bourne dugout watches it fly off the roof of the dugout and towards the fans. So the count 2-2 now to Keenan. 3 for 8 on the young season. He has struck out 4 times.
This bottom part of the order is one that we've seen come alive for Bourne, especially in that game against Harwich. We've seen it a little bit here too. Franco, Keenan, and Doolin all with hits so far.
Into the wide, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5th time this season that Keenan has gone down via the K. That's the 4th strikeout today for Tyler Schmidt. We've got 2 gone in the 4th. It brings Caden Doolin to the plate. His first time up today was his first hit of the season, a single. Doolin looks to start a 2-out rally with his squad down by 3. It's 4-1 in the top of the 4th. First pitch, hard bouncer, right side, just foul. It took 1 bounce in the dirt before heading over towards the grass and rolling down the line.
Doolin, an exciting player. He's got a lot of flashes of really good talent after his season at Pitt. But he's working here against Schmidt, who's gone well into games, 15 starts this season at Illinois.
Schmidt winds and deals. Popped up again first base side, this time a little bit past the roof of the dugout and onto the hill, where a fan picks it up.
You'll see a lot with pitchers, especially early in the Cape season, that relief pitchers in college might get the start. This time you got a premier starter in Schmidt who can go well into this game and has looked really the best he has all game in this inning.
0-2. Just called outside the Brewster dugout. Thought that was going to be strike 3. But Doolin stays alive with the count 1-2 and 2 gone. Schmidt a long look in. Gets a sign, the high kick and the pitch. Got him looking. Called strike 3. A similar spot. Maybe one more ball inside the zone. And that's strikeout number 5 for Tyler Schmidt. He puts the Braves down 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th, and we're into the bottom of the 4th with the score 4-1 Brewster.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Number 7,
We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brewster leads Bourne 4-1. Alex Valentine back out onto the mound for Bourne. He'll face off against the top of the Brewster order, 1-2-3. Josiah Ragdale leads things off. The lefty stands in the box. The left-handed pitcher Valentine into the wind. The pitch outside on a slider. Ragsdale starts ahead in the count 1-0.
Interesting, Valentine's still in this game. Very solid guy. He's done a good job at getting ahead in counts so far this game, but he's deep into his pitch count already and already has allowed 4 runs.
1-0. Popped up, straight in the air. Keenan moving back. He takes off his mask, walks in the warning track that's gravel, and makes the catch over his head for out number 1. Valentine with a big smile on his face after that out, retiring Ragsdale. That sends up the number 2 hitter, Dalton Wentz. Flew out into a 9-5 double play that ended the second inning. His last time to the plate. A wild play in which Noah Franco, the right fielder, threw out a runner trying to tag and advance to third. First pitch. Fastball inside, 1-0.
Really big Valentin gets that leadoff out right there. Second time this game. Last time he did that was the first inning, which was scoreless for the Whitecaps.
Each of the last 2 innings started with a walk. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Slider in the dirt. 1-1. It's a beautiful day here in Brewster. Mostly cloudy skies, 67 degrees. Sun starting to dip down behind the trees. The 1-1. Hit hard towards short, bounces into the glove of Waite. He hops and fires to first. A nice stretch by Hughes to beat out the runner Wentz. A 6-3 ground out. Just like that, Valentin with 2 quick outs after 2 long innings in which he gave up 2 runs in the second and third.
Really impressed with Riker Waite's defensive ability so far. Almost lets that throw go, but still gets the out. And just looks really smooth defensively through double plays, the one he had in the second. He's been really impressive, especially considering he's filling the shoes of Justin LeBron, one of the best defensive shortstops in the entire country after his season at Alabama.
First pitch to Cuvée, swing and a miss. Fastball right down the middle, 0-1. Cuvée 0 for 1 with a walk today. Came in to score in the last inning. He led off that bottom of the third and stole a base. 0-1. Swing and a miss, another fastball, 0-2.
First time we've seen the first and second batter of the order retired.
Into the wind. A shimmy, here's the pitch. Outside fastball, 1-2. Valentin down to 88 on that fastball. We've seen him get all the way up to 94 earlier today.
That was just last inning.
A left-hander into the wind, another shimmy, here's the pitch. A broken bat, bouncer towards second. Doolin fields it and throws sidearm to first. It's in time to beat out Cuvée. And a 1-2-3 inning for Alex Valentin. A great bounce back after a rocky second and third. And that does it for the fourth. Before we step aside, Devon, go ahead.
Are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with the Cape's own Keith Bildeau? Join us at the Capeplex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the Capeplex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne. Find us on Facebook or at the K-Plex or at thek-plex.com. Elevate your game at the K-Plex. Additionally, Keystone's Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone's Place at buzzardsbay.com.
We'll step aside, be back in just a moment for the 5th inning.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
Time for the 5th inning from Stony Brook Field. It's Brewster 4, Bourne 1. The Whitecaps starting pitcher Tyler Schmidt's day is done. His final line, 4 innings pitched. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5. That 1 run he gave up, a solo home run to Noah Franco that went 372 feet to lead off the second. Now it's Chase Davis, number 40, a 6'2 left-hander out of South Alabama, who steps onto the mound. Devon, what should we know about the southpaw?
Well, he's a really solid pitcher out of South Alabama in the transfer portal right now. In 8 appearances in his freshman season, started 7. Not a too glamorous 7.4 ERA, but he's looking good right now in his warm-ups. Has a fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup in his arsenal. Averages about 90 on the fastball and should be a tough look for this Bourne team today.
Davis with South Alabama, as you said, was one of their big starters for most of the season. Started 7 games, had just 1 appearance out of the bullpen. That's where he appears today in his Cape League debut. For Bourne, it's the top of the order up, 1, 2, 3. John LeGrand, Riker Waite, and Cade Lewis. LeGrand, the left-handed hitter, makes his way into the batter's box, 0 for 2 today. He entered the game red hot, hitting .462, but a slow start. Luckily just the top of the 5th inning, so still a long way to go. Davis, the left-hander on the mound, looks in. He'll be working from the wind. Here's the first pitch. Inside, that hit him. LeGrand throws his bat towards the Bourne dugout on the first base side after getting nicked in the elbow. And that's not how Davis wanted to start his Cape League career. 1 batter faced, 1 batter allowed on base. Riker Waite next to the dish. He's 0 for 2 today. But like LeGrand, entered today red hot, an on-base percentage of .714 through the first few games of the season. Davis from the stretch for the first time. He looks over to first and attempts a pickoff, but LeGrand back in with the head-first dive.
On that pickoff attempt, Waite seemed a little fooled almost. He grabbed like almost a bunt formation on his bat, so maybe something to watch out for here.
Cuvée playing pretty far in on the grass, the third baseman, continuing to walk in. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and outside, 1-0.
Yeah, Cuvée noticed it too. Had that bunt grip. Almost revealed his hand to these defenders.
Cuvée takes a few steps back now. The middle infield playing in double play formation. Look over to first from Davis. He throws over, back in time LeGrand. Not even a tag applied. Said how Riker Waite was exceptional in getting on base coming into today. In 7 plate appearances, he was 1 for 2. That just tells you how many times he was walking, getting hit.
Sac fly, hit, and 2 walks.
Pretty incredible. Another throw over to first, the third of the at-bat. Grand is back in time. Chase Davis has sent 2 balls towards the plate. He hit a man and has thrown a ball. He's attempted 3 pickoffs. Bourne down by 3 here in the top of the 5th. The 1-0. Fastball up and outside, a called strike. 1-1. Davis holds his glove against his right shoulder and brings ball to glove in front of the Brewster logo. Pitch, upstairs fastball, 89 miles an hour, 2-1.
Whitecaps doing a great job at just staying sound defensively. They've only allowed the 1 run off a home run. No runners in the base paths have scored, which is exactly what you want. It's why this pitching staff is so good.
2-1, popped up, first base side, drifting out of play. It drops beyond the netting and off the pavement. Moves the count to 2-2. LeGrand at first, 2 for 3 on stolen base attempts this season. That's why Chase Davis has been on edge trying to keep the speedy leadoff man at bay.
Both pitchers paying a lot of attention to first base.
Another pickoff attempt, and once again, LeGrand back in.
Yeah, Priest is not even attempting a tag against LeGrand. You know, the more pickoff attempts, the higher chance one of them's going to get away, and LeGrand could be in scoring position.
Seen it happen a couple times this season. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Took some off that time, went with the changeup low in the zone. Waite couldn't hold up, was well out in front of it. That's out number 1. Brings Cade Lewis to the plate, the third baseman out of Wake Forest. He's reached base twice today. Walked back in the first, was hit by a pitch when he led off the third, but was out at second base in the third. On a very interesting play, one of many just wild situations we've already seen early in this game. First pitch, fouled straight back to the netting, the count 0-1.
That was a really close call at second when he got out. He was probably part of the 2 most interesting plays so far this game, maybe 2 of 3. He had that fielding mishap at third base. It wasn't an error where he lost his footing. Could have eliminated any of the runs that happened in the second for Brewster.
The left-handed Davis looks in. He looks over to first at LeGrand. Back home, a peek back to first. And now a look back home, but hold on, he's going to throw back to first again.
Do we start factoring pickoff attempts into the pitch count, Adam?
Well, you got to think it's making
strain.
his arm a little bit tired.
Right. And it's not a natural position, so it might be a little bit of stress in different areas.
Davis looks over to first. Now LeGrand is running. The throw goes over to first. The throw to second is in time. The tag applied. LeGrand picked off, and that's out number 2 at the top of the 5th.
Yeah, good try by LeGrand, but he just started his jump way too early. You got to kind of wait for the pitcher to start their momentum toward home, because at that point they can't make the pickoff attempt at first. Good job by Davis to have that heads up. See out of the corner of his eye, LeGrand's going, and just absolutely smother him.
LeGrand just such an aggressive player, but too aggressive there. Second out of the inning. Lewis, count 0-1. Here's the pitch. Slow curveball finds the zone. 0-2. Scott Landers said about LeGrand after the game yesterday, we want him to play aggressively, but we got to cut him down a little bit. You see that they're aggressive, but maybe too aggressive, leads to the out. 0-2. Fastball outside. Davis thought that was strike 3. He started to jog back towards the Whitecaps dugout, as did the rest of the Brewster team. Jamie Shevchuk, the 10th-year manager for the Whitecaps, not happy. He's letting his displeasure be heard.
Almost that Buster Posey start the throw over around the horn. Didn't get the call.
Davis looks in, the lefty into the wind. Here's the pitch. Inside. Lewis had to jump back out of the way to avoid being hit. Left hand on left hand. Lewis digs into the box. Davis looks in. Whitecaps up 4-1 in the top of the 5th. Davis contends it to the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, outside, slider. Count moves full, 3-2. Here with 2 gone. Braden Holcomb, the number 3 hitter, the cleanup hitter, stands on deck. He's also reached base twice today. Davis into the wind. The kick and the pitch. Got him looking. Curveball right down Broadway. Lewis knew it immediately. He heads back to the dugout, shaking his head. Davis heads back to his dugout with celebration, as that does it for the top of the 5th. We're into the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
As the wind starts to pick up, we move into the bottom of the 5th inning. Brewster still leads Bourne 4-1. Adam Gotkin and Devon Jarvis with you. New pitcher into the game for Bourne. It's Jonathan Stevens coming in relief of Alex Valentine. The left-hander finished his day with 4 innings pitched. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Jonathan Stevens into the game. The right-hander out of Alabama. A very interesting player. He spent 2 seasons with the Crimson Tide and has no appearances, but he has been spectacular in wood-bat leagues. Last summer was the relief pitcher of the year in the Cal Ripken League with the Bethesda Big Train, and then got called up to Bourne towards the end of the season. Had 1 appearance in the regular season, went 3 1/3 shutout, and then started Game 1 of the Cape League Championship Series. Carson Tinney stands in the box, the cleanup hitter. First pitch. Bounces in the dirt off the foot of the home plate umpire, Ryan Demare, and that's going to sting. Stevens in Game 1 of the Cape League title was good. He pitched 4 innings, gave up just 3 hits, 1 run. It was an unearned run. He struck out 3. He is in the transfer portal, looking to go somewhere where he can get solid time. Jimmy Keenan out meeting with Stevens just to give the umpire Demare a couple seconds to walk off after getting hit by the baseball. Keenan walks his way back behind home plate, sporting his Wake Forest catching gear. Tinney, the designated hitter, stands into the box. Bit of a closed stance. Stevens, the right-hander, works from the stretch. The high kick in the 1-0. Fastball up and outside. 2-0. That pitch up at 94 miles an hour. Stevens, a guy who can really sling it. The kick and the pitch. Bouncer towards short, racing in Waite. He fields, throws quickly to first, and it's in time. A nice play from Riker Waite, who, as you said earlier, Devon, has really impressed in the field.
Yeah, he's extremely solid. And again, he had big shoes to fill. These last 3 games he's been playing really, really well. So you got to be happy if you are Bourne right now, where you've got a solidified shortstop who's really good defensively. Of course, later this season, Ryan Cooney, the shortstop from Oregon, will join the Braves. But until then, maybe Riker earns the spot and Cooney doesn't get it. Either way, Riker's been great.
Colin Priest at the dish, first pitch. In for a strike, 0-1. Riker Waite isn't your prototypical shortstop. He's only 5'10", about 170 pounds. Usually you see a guy like that at second base, but he's got a solid arm for his smaller frame. Stevens, glove at the belt. A long look in. Now the pitch. Bouncer first base side, foul into the Bourne dugout.
I mean, if Riker keeps playing like he does offensively and defensively, you get Ryan Cooney, you get Cam Codrell later this season for Bourne, you're going to have a real tough decision to make if you're Scott Landers of who to put in that middle of the infield.
That's a good thing. You can never have too many bats, especially in this league where you never know when guys are leaving. Priest stands in. He's reached base twice today, but still searching for his first hit this season. 0-2. Fastball misses inside, up at 95. Count 1-2. Priest walked in the second, hit by a pitch in the third. He scored 3 runs this season without a single hit. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's
all
really,
3
really
times
solid.
He's reached base this season too, which is unheard of. Stevens looks in, the kick and the pitch. Bouncer back up the middle, Waite ranging over. He fields it on the other side of second, throws to first in time. How about the range from Riker Waite?
Just incredible. The ball hits on the backside of the pitcher's mound. It's a bad hop where it just stays level rolling through the grass. Then as it comes off the grass lip, it bounces off second base. Waite again sees that, makes the adjustment, and really, when you watch his body language, there was never a doubt he was not going to get the out.
Cool, calm, collected. A spectacular play from Bourne's shortstop. It brings Blake Sear to the plate, who's had a really good day so far. 2 for 2 with 2 singles and a run scored. Stevens at the belt. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball. 95 again. 0-1.
Stevens is a really interesting guy to watch here. Hasn't pitched in a year since he was with Bourne in that championship game. So you wonder what his distance is. And if he does get into trouble, how short is that leash?
The right-hander at the belt. The 0-1. Off speed. Down Broadway. The changeup. 0-2. The other side of that argument, Devon, though, is maybe Stevens has an even longer leash when it comes to pitch count because his arm is fresh. He never pitched in the spring.
Perfect point.
The right-hander looks in. 3 on the pitch clock. Now he starts his delivery and bounces one off the plate. It hits off the top of the netting, almost bounced over. A close battle between the two back kids as the man on deck, Alex Sosa, is cheering on the Brewster back girl. But it's Bourne who wins it. Jonathan Stevens trying to win this battle at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, bottom of the 5th. Bourne down 4-1. Stevens kicks and deals. Ground ball back up the middle. Doolin can't bring it in. Tried to backhand it, slid to the ground, but it hit off the heel of his glove and bounced into center field. It's a 2-out single for Blake Sear.
A really tough ball to field. Again, it had a weird hop off the mound, and the grass isn't super consistent here. So you get some flares left and right. Not as much consistency with these bouncing balls. Also really hard hit. One Doolin shouldn't let himself get too upset over.
Alex Sosa heads to the plate. The catcher who's been stellar in his Whitecaps debut today, 2 for 2. With 2 RBIs on a single his last time up. The left-hander digs into the box. Wearing a whole lot of protective gear on both his right ankle and his right elbow. First pitch from Stevens. Fastball in for a strike. Outside part of the plate. 0-1. Wind still blowing pretty steadily from right to left. At just about 4 or 5 miles an hour. Whitecaps with a massive American flag just beyond the fence in right center field. Stevens looks in. Low kick in the pitch. Bouncer towards short. Wade fields. He'll go the long way to first, and it beats out Sosa. All 3 outs in the bottom of the 5th come via a 6-3 grounder, but Blake Sear did single. He's stranded on first, no errors. We move into the 6th inning with a score of 4-1, but before that, we'll send things to our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky.
Well, Adam, we've talked about it a couple times in our pre- and post-game shows, but this Bourne team has shown us that they keep fighting, and that is one thing manager said when I talked to him. He said, we're still trying to find our identity, but one thing that he has seen that they do not quit. Bourne has gone down first in every game so far and battled back scoring runs. He said everyone is working their hardest because they want to stay here on the Cape and keep getting playing time. He told me one thing that he has really liked is everyone is a good guy, and the team has been getting along well and gelling, which has helped them play as a cohesive team, which is very important in these summer collegiate leagues. Adam?
Ariel, thanks so much. We'll keep it here as we wait for the 6th inning to get underway. Chase Davis will head back out onto the mound for his 2nd inning of work, and Bourne will have the middle of the order 3, 4, 5 due up. 4, 5, 6 due up, with Braden Holcomb set to lead things off. Bravos have gotten at least 1 runner on in every inning but the 4th today. There's been 3 outs on the base paths. Things just not going the Bravos' way. But it's a long game. Just 5 innings down at the plate, 4 to go. However, Devon, I'd be shocked if we get all the way through this game. It's been a long one. We're just under 2 hours in. This game got underway at 5 p.m. It's already 6:54. The sun has already set beyond the tree line, which is behind the third base dugout. It's still pretty light out, but just like yesterday, we got to keep an eye on the time, an eye on the sun, and see if this game even gets to the 9th. Yesterday's game against YD ended in a 4-4 tie after the 8th.
But to Bourne's advantage, yesterday they were up 4-1 as that sunset was coming into play. And YD came back. This time they're down 4-1. So maybe it'll be a flip-flop of games.
I would think you'd rather be in the lead than be down, though, right?
Well, I'm just saying, history repeats itself, right?
I guess so. Davis into the line. First pitch to Holcomb. Just misses outside fastball, 1-0. I thought the quote was history. I know it is history repeats itself, not history doesn't repeat itself. That was a...
No, it sounded weird when I said it.
It does sound weird, but that's what it is.
I think so.
No, definitely. Into the line, the 1-0. cranked foul down the right field line as Ragsdale watches it drop into the Bourne bullpen. There's a couple phrases like that always confuse me.
Yeah.
Up until a couple months ago, I always thought it was play it by year, not play it by ear.
And it feels like
play it by ear makes more sense because you'll figure it out when the time comes.
Exactly. Like the time aspect of year makes more sense than like what you hear, I guess?
Yeah, exactly. But
nevertheless,
that's what it is, I guess.
I was in that same boat, but I found out a little earlier.
1-1. Fastball at the knees, a called strike. 1 and 2. I'm trying to think of some other phrases that are often misheard.
I used to think landslide meant like a really close race.
I don't understand how it necessarily means a blowout.
I stand corrected. I thought that meant I was correct.
The 1-2. Another hard hit ball towards right field. Ragsdale makes a few backpedals back before making the catch a few steps shy of the outfield fence, out number 1, on a well-hit ball from Braden Holcomb at 98 off the bat.
I think moral of the story is I just didn't read enough as a child to really understand sayings.
Yeah, I'm going to give you some credit here. I think a lot of sayings just make no sense. I don't think it's us not reading. I think it's English being a language that so often just absolutely has no meaning behind the way it does things.
I'll gladly put blame on something other than myself.
Logan Hughes stands in the box, 1 for 2 today. First pitch. Low on a curveball, 1-0. He singled his last time up in the third. The English language in general is a tough one. I say that as it's the only one I can speak, and
right.
I have failed miserably at trying to learn on other languages. I've taken 3 others, never had a chance of doing well.
It's Spanish in elementary school, French in middle school, and Italian in high school.
Bonjour. 1-0. Mrs. Lowe, 2-0.
Is that a Doris Burke reference?
No, I don't understand that. That was a French reference. Hola, ciao. Davis looks in, shakes off a pitch. Into the wind, here's the 2-0. Hughes bounces it foul down the first base line.
Our producer, Gabriella Voccio, just gave one to us. Easy as pie. That saying. How does that make sense?
Oh, I thought for a second that was not what it actually is. I thought it was like a missaying. But easy as pie, yeah.
See, that's how backwards. You didn't even think it was a real saying.
It's easy to eat? I don't know. Yeah, it's not that easy to make.
It's really tough.
The 2-1. Another curveball in the dirt. The 3-1. Have you ever tried to do the lattices on top of a pie where you get the cross? That's always a little bit difficult. I believe that's what those are called.
Yeah, it is lattice. I'm trying to remember. I did an apple crumb, but just no lattice, no fancy stuff.
Okay, 3-1. Hard hit ball in the air towards right field. Hughes praying for it to go left of the pole, but he pulled it too much. It's to the right, and the count's full 3-2. My grandfather, my entire life, has made an incredible apple pie with a nice lattice on top. His specialty, though, is he puts blueberries inside. It's a nice
So it's not just an
flavor.
apple pie.
No, but it is. It's
Okay.
an apple with blueberry. It's not an apple blueberry pie. It is an apple pie. Mm-hmm. There's just a little flavor of blueberry in there, and it's good. The payoff pitch. Looping curveball inside for ball 4. And that puts a runner on with 1 gone in the top of the 6th.
All this talk about food, I am extraordinarily hungry.
Oh, me too. I am starving right now. Noah Franco, a guy who is, you ready for this one?
Yep.
Hungry at the plate right
now.
Got it. He steps up, hit a home run back in the 2nd, so maybe not that hungry, but I still wanted to work that in. But I guess maybe a little bit.
He already had the home run.
He struck out. He's still hungry.
Yeah. You're always hungry if you're a competitive player.
That was just an appetizer earlier. Now looking for the main dish. This would be a 2-run homer. First pitch. Off the end of the bat, a foul ball. Franco just laughing because if that was a couple inches up, it would have been off of his hand, but instead it's a ball, or it's a strike, and the count is 0-1 on the foul ball.
Are there any specialty dishes here at Stony Brook Field?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Here at Stony Brook Field and at Eldridge Park, home of the Orleans Firebirds, all the concessions is controlled by the Nauset Public Schools, as we're at the public school fields. 0-1. Fastball catches the outer part of the plate. 0-2. It's at some of the other fields, not these Nauset schools where we see some of the crazy foods. Of course, yesterday we were at Red Wilson Field, home of the Whitey Red Sox, the Donut Burger.
We're trying that on air at least once. I guess we only have one more shot at it.
If you say so. 0-2. A bouncer up the middle, pretty slow. Wentz, the second baseman, flips it to short. The relay to first is not in time. Franco beats it out, a 4-6 fielder's choice. And that's an encouraging sign to see Noah Franco, who we've already seen hit the ball powerfully, also be a fast guy down the first base line.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself too. What else can this guy do? If he can pitch, he can field. He has a cannon of an arm. He's fast. He's an exceptional player. And just one that you know is going to come in all shapes and sizes for this Bourne team as the season goes on and be effective in all of them.
Campbell Smithwick to the plate. 0 for 2 today. First pitch. In for a strike on a fastball. Outside part of the plate. 0-1. Franco, as I mentioned, a two-way. He's getting the start in Bourne's next game on Thursday. When he's at TCU, he also hits when he pitches, but not exactly sure if he'll be doing that on Thursday against Hyannis. Pickoff attempt, but Franco back in standing up.
Also got to remember with a guy like Franco, he came 2 days later than everybody else. So he was still a little bit stiff in those first 2 games, especially yesterday. Now we've seen he's a little bit more comfortable, and he's already unleashed multiple of his talents.
0-1. Smithwick fouls it back off the netting. 0-2. Tight race for the ball, and Bourne wins it. Brewster kid just got tripped up and did a little somersault. Brewster catcher Alex Sosa just started dying laughing. Lefty-lefty matchup. Davis from the stretch looks over to first. Comes to the plate. Smithwick hits it the other way, tailing foul down the left field line and into the Brewster bullpen. It's a very odd bullpen down the left field line. Something that I think makes absolutely no sense. The fence just stops for some reason, and the bullpen is not in play, but within the field where a ball can roll into it. There's a white line which says the bullpen's out of play. There's fencing everywhere except there. They just stopped it for some reason.
Easier access for pitchers to run out onto the field?
Put a fence. That seems easy.
Just trying to make up something.
I don't understand. Davis looks over to first. The 0-2. Fouled back. Count stays where it is. Falmouth does a similar thing where they have fencing that just stops. I don't understand any of the fields that do it. Red Wilson has that also.
You know what?
Why don't you make fencing all the way around? I feel like that's something that
if broadcasting
for baseball is important.
Doesn't ever work out, you can either go into the fencing industry or the
stadium
baseball
architect.
Exactly.
Yes. I when I was younger would make stadiums on Minecraft, so I know what I'm doing. 0-2. A protect swing, bounce towards third. Cuvée takes his time, now speeds it up, and fires a rocket to first, and it's just in time as Smithwick was racing down the first base line. A big smile on the face of Cuvée as he realizes he maybe should have gone a little bit quicker, but either way, he's able to get that third out at first base, and Bourne goes down scoreless again in the top of the sixth. They strand another runner on, and before we step aside, Devon, give us some scores from around the Cape League.
Yeah, YD and Wareham are in top 4 right now. It's a 1-0 lead for Wareham. They're still looking for their first win of the season. Katuitt and Harwich squaring off. They're in the bottom of the second. Harwich with 2-1 on the season so far. They're up 2-0 against the 1-2 Kettleers. In the middle of the second are Orleans and Falmouth. A really good start for Falmouth. They're up 4-0. Finally, it's Chatham and Hyannis Chatham 1-2, Hyannis 2-1. They're tied. It's still in the top of the first inning.
So we're about to head to the bottom of the sixth. We'll keep it here. Brewster up 4-1 over Bourne, and it's continuing to get darker. The sun has already set beyond the tree line.
Far less clouds than yesterday at YT. It was kind of tough to tell at YT yesterday because there was a lot of cloud cover for pretty much once the game started, so it didn't feel like it got any darker until like the 7th or 8th inning. This time it's pretty apparent.
I would say right now we're about where we were in like maybe the 7th inning yesterday. The game ended in the 8th.
Yeah, it was a slower game yesterday for sure, but
it's just so hard to tell with clouds and not clouds, and also there's no telling of when an umpire is going to call the game.
It's a very subjective thing.
It's 100% subjective. It's when the umpire thinks it's no longer safe.
What do you think
any umpire can think one thing is safe and the other isn't.
Is there like a light tester that we can have where once it reaches a certain level, it can be some sort of objective measurement?
The only thing that came to my mind when you said that is the tint testers that you'll see like police have to test the tint on a car to see how much light passes through. I don't know if that would necessarily work. Right. I don't know, but either way, it's bright enough for us to continue playing
think of
here.
something and present it to the Cape.
I guess so. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Jonathan Stevens back out onto the mound for Bourne into his second full inning of work. Got all 3 outs via 6-3 groundouts. Back at the bottom of the 5th, he faces the number 8 hitter Carson Kearse. First pitch, Kearse shows butt, pulls it back, but it's in the zone. The count 0-1. Brewster up to 8 hits on the day. The Whitecaps undefeated coming into today, yet their team batting average under 200. 0-1. A foul ball towards the first base side, right near one of our microphones. Almost hit it.
Not safe, giving us flashbacks to Harwich.
And 3 balls hit our microphone back on opening day. We've been pretty good since then, but that one almost got nicked.
Yeah, that's both learning from experience, not putting microphones in dangerous locations.
Right behind home plate. Maybe not the smartest job by us. Home plate umpire Ryan Tamir got some dirt in his eye. Rubs it out. Now tells Stevens to play ball. The right-hander comes to the belt. Low kick in the 0-2. Fastball. Got him looking. Beautiful 94 miles an hour. Paints the outside edge of the plate. That's out number 1. First strikeout of the evening for Jonathan Stevens. Ty Head, due up. 0 for 9 on the young season. Grounded into a 6-3 unassisted double play. Or I guess not an unassisted, just a 6-3 double play his last time to the plate. First pitch in for a strike on a fastball outside. 0-1. Stevens coming out of the bullpen for the first time with Bourne, as that's a pop-up third base side, drifting foul. It bounces in the Brewster bullpen. Stevens will celebrate his 21st birthday a week from today. Native of Birmingham, Alabama. Come set. Head. Waiting. 0-2. Fouled straight back. Count stays where it is.
At Orleans on his birthday. Maybe we get a game in that day where he gets in.
There's definitely a chance he could. Wouldn't be shocked if Stevens works his way into the rotation at some point, and pitching every 7 days is not uncommon in college baseball.
Quite the norm.
Stevens could be a bullpen guy, though. He was in Bethesda last summer when he was the reliever of the year in the Ripken League. 0-2, just inside on a slider. Bourne dugout, really unhappy with that call.
Like you mentioned, Scott Landers started him in that championship game, so he's familiar with Stevens and trusts him in the biggest of moments as a starter.
1-2. Off speed, got him looking. Up towards the Whitecaps, scripted across the front of the jersey. Ty Head walks back into the dugout in disbelief. That's the second backwards K in a row to start this bottom of the 6th. And the top of the order now up, Josiah Ragsdale. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI today.
Credit to Jimmy Keenan, a little bit more convincing. He added to it and got the strikeout.
First pitch in for a strike. Another off-speed 0-1. Keenan has done a great job framing those high pitches.
Still a carousel of catchers defensively through these 4 games. We've seen all of them once, now Keenan twice. So Slander's also still trying to figure out who he wants behind the dish.
0-1. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed 0-2. Today's the first off day of the season for Weber Niels. Campbell Smithwick, one of the other catchers, playing in left. Through the first 3 games, the designated hitter was one of those catchers. It's always nice to have a plethora of catchers. That's an exhausting position. 0-2. Up and outside, another off-speed.
Once again, having a tough decision to make of who to put in at catcher is something you want to have. Right now, Bourne has that. Weber Niels and Jimmy Keenan both draft eligible, though, so they have the opportunity to leave for the MLB.
Kicking a pitch. Inside, ball 2.
For MLB, excuse me.
Stevens has taken a lot off these last few pitches. His fastball's up at 94, 95. He's gone with off speeds each of the last 6 pitches. We'll see what he does on the 2-2. Another off speed, and Ragsdale got a piece of it. Fouled it back to the backstop, and another race behind home plate between the Bat Boys. This time, a Whitecap comes up with it. Bottom of the 6th, 4-3 Whitecaps, 2 gone, 2-2 the count. Stevens set at the belt, the kick and the pitch. Got him looking. Fastball inside. It's 3 backwards Ks for Jonathan Stevens in the bottom of the 6th inning. That's something you do not see every day. Well, we're into the 7th. The score, Brewster 4, Bourne 1. Bravo's bats need to get going soon. It's 8-9-1, due up. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network and Cable League TV.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Time for the 7th inning. Brewster leads Bourne 4-1, and a new pitcher into the game for the Whitecaps. It's a right-hander out of Wake Forest, Nate Britton. He'll face off against 8-9-1 in the Bourne order. Great job by Chase Davis out of the bullpen as he exits after going 2 innings without giving up a hit or any runs. He did walk 1 and strike out 2, but again now Nate Britton comes to the plate, the sophomore out of Wake Forest. Pitched in 10 games, had a 4.70 ERA this past season for the Demon Deacons. Goes sinker, slider, cutter. Just celebrated his 20th birthday a few days ago and looks to start his Cape season strong.
It's a big moment right now because you're looking at maybe the last opportunity, one of 2 opportunities that Bourne could have to tie this game, and down 4-1, they need as many opportunities as they can get at them. It's Not going to come easy.
Sun has set beyond the tree line, so we are counting down the time until this game is called due to darkness. We're in the top of the 7th. This game has already taken 2 hours and 15 minutes, so unless they completely change the pace, looking unlikely to get a full 9 in. That's just how things are on the Cape, and you can't put yourself in situations where you have to come back late. Bourne down by 3. Jimmy Keenan steps in. First pitch from the right-handed Britain is a fastball in for a strike at the knees. 95 miles an hour, 0-1.
Ended at about 7:45-ish yesterday. The game was called, so you're about 30 minutes away from that. Could get close.
That fastball is a sinker for Britain. Kicks and deals the 0-1. That time goes with the same pitch, another sinker on the outside part of the plate, 0-2. I see you looking up a light meter right now,
So
Devon.
let's clarify. My grandmother just sent me a link to a light meter on Amazon, so we can objectively test whether it's light enough out to end the game.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder how it works. 0-2. Inside, 1-2.
Shout out to you, Grandma. Thanks for having my back.
Shout out Devon's grandma. Yeah. I'm very intrigued in how this works now.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate you put it away because I've never heard of a light monitor. Britain at the belt. A deep breath. Still looking in. 2 on the pitch clock. Now he deals. It's fouled back off the mask of the catcher, Sosa. Keenan with a 1-2 count. So looking at that light meter, what it reminded me of, and don't ask why I know what that looks like, but the radiation sensors that you see in movies sometimes whenever there's some sort of nuclear waste event or something along those lines. It looks exactly like one of those.
It does.
1-2. Up and outside on the cutter. 2-2.
So the measurement for light is in lux, and it measures luminosity from 0 to 200,000.
Okay.
And has an accuracy of plus or minus 3% RDG, which I believe is a form of lux.
2-2. This is low, 3-2. Now, Devon, can I put you to work here?
Yes.
Any way that Google or some sort of AI has an idea of what a safe amount of lux is to play baseball at?
Okay, let's see.
Because there's got to be something. 3-2. Just up and outside, ball 4. It's a nice leadoff walk from Jimmy Keenan. Start off this top of the 7th. The number 9 hitter, Cade Doolin, steps into the right-handed batter's box. 1 for 2 today, singled back in the 2nd. Struck out looking in the 4th. That was the last batter that the starter, Tyler Schmidt, saw. Britton looks over to first at Keenan and comes set at the belt. First pitch. Hard bouncer, right side, off the glove of Priest. The second baseman, Wentz, picks it up, but he's got nowhere to go with it. An infield single for Caden Doolin, his second base hit of the day. Bourne has its tying runner to the plate. Top of the order up, John LeGrand, who's 0 for 2 today, steps into the box. We've got a brand new ball game here in the top of the 7th. Bourne down by 3, but can quickly change things.
Yeah, really huge for Doolin, too. He gets his first 2 hits in the Cape. And now you're looking, like you said, at a different ball game. Tying run at the plate.
Trying to get an answer on this Lux thing.
I'm working on it.
I see something here, and it makes no sense. There's certain levels that you have to reach, and it's too many numbers for me. LeGrand stands in the box. First pitch. Fouled hard down the third base line. Jeff Lemoncelli, the third base coach, tried to bring it in, but decided to spare his hands. A quick meeting on the mound. The catcher, Sosa, out talking with his pitcher, Britton, now jogs back beyond the plate. LeGrand went towards the on-deck circle to spray some more pine tar on his bat. He now looks down at his belt where he checks the play that's called in from Scott Landers and heads back towards the left-handed box.
So I've got your answer. Anywhere during the day, Lux is at between 10,000 and 100,000. But 15 minutes before the game,
Before
sunset, Lux is right around 1,000. So that's around your point.
0-1. Bouncer first base side towards the on-deck circle. Foul, 0-2.
Please take all information we're providing with a grain of salt. Not only are they coming from two uneducated people, but it's also from ChatGPT.
But, so yeah, I guess 1,000 Lux is the safe spot to play.
Professional baseball that relates to the outfield. So
infield, I guess you need more light. You need more light probably.
In the outfield because you're catching fly balls.
Okay. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. LeGrand got out in front of a cutter. That's out number 1. Brings Riker Waite to the plate with runners still on first and second. And now 1 out. Brewster up 4-1 in the top of the 7th. Bourne down by 3. That can change with one swing of the bat. Riker Waite not necessarily a power hitter at just 5'10", 170 pounds, but we've seen him do just about everything. First pitch. Hit hard the other way, down the line and left, tailing towards the foul line. Diving catch from Sear. No, it falls out of his glove. The throw towards third is not in time. They just needed the force, but Keenan got there in time. Initially, Sear brought it in. It then bounced out of his glove. Jamie Shevchuk, the head coach for Brewster, out of the dugout because he wants an explanation. He thought that Sear caught it and then dropped it on the transfer.
Does he have possession, I guess, is your conversation, like the 2014 divisional game between the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers?
Well, Des Bryant didn't have possession and it appeared. No, he didn't. It appears that Sear did not have possession here, an identical play, I guess you could say. But it brings Cade Lewis to the plate now with the bases loaded here in the top of the 7th and 1 out. Tying run at first, Lewis at the plate represents the go-ahead run. Bourne's already hit 1 homer today. It was a Noah Franco solo shot back in the top of the 2nd. Lewis can take the lead with a grand slam. Ducks all around the pond. Britton in his first inning of work, trying to get out of a jam. First pitch. This is low, 1-0. Jimmy Keenan at third. Caden Doolin at second. Riker Waite at first. Those men on first and second, both really fast. The left-handed hitting. Lewis stands in, 1-0. Hit left field, down for a base hit. Keenan scores. Doolin gets the stop sign at third. Everyone moves up 90 feet, and it's a 2-run ball game. Brewster 4, Bourne 2 in the top of the 7th.
Great throw from left field by Sear to hold the runners. Bourne playing the exact brand of baseball they need to right now. Base hits, and eventually if you can get one more in, you have the chance for a sacrifice fly. But again, this part of the order has been so solid for Bourne. Riker Waite didn't have a great day today, gets his first hit. Cade Lewis, probably the most consistent hitter on the team right now. He gets an RBI. And you got Holcomb, Hughes, and Franco, who are some of the more dangerous batters you have on this team. Up as your next 3, I would be really happy in this spot if I'm Bourne.
Brian Del Rosso, the pitching coach for the Whitecaps, out on the mound with the entirety of the infield, as well as the catcher Sosa. Del Rosso done out there. He slowly makes his way back towards the dugout down the third base line. We're in a very, very similar spot that we were yesterday. I guess, Devon.
I was right. Sorry. I'm never wrong. I'm just early.
Sure.
Okay.
Gotcha. But history repeats itself.
Yes.
As you were saying. I just blanked for a moment.
Because it's a weird saying.
It is. It makes no sense, as we were talking about. But either way, Braden Holcomb now steps to the dish. He's got Caden Doolin on third, Riker Waite on second, Cade Lewis on first. Holcomb has 1 RBI this season. He's 0 for 2 today. Reached base back in the first on a walk. Britton's faced 5 batters. He's gotten just 1 out. Already allowed 1 run to cross. First pitch. Holcomb watches a fastball outside. 1-0. There is action in the Brewster bullpen. A left-hander warming up. Holcomb, the righty, Digs in, swings his bat forward with a practice swing, and now settles behind his right ear. 1-0, swing and a miss. Took a big cut at a sinker, and the count 1-1. It's Hayden LeFew warming up in the bullpen for Brewster, the star reliever for Wake Forest, one of the top arms for the Demon Deacons. 1-1, misses low, another sinker. 2-1 the count to Holcomb. Tying run at second base. Bourne down 4-2 here in the top of the 7th with 1 out. Riker Waite's got a lot of speed. One of the fastest guys on the team. A base hit could tie it. 2-1. Outside, ball 3. Now this is big. One more ball here would move the tying runner 90 feet away and the go-ahead runner to second.
Lance Davis also warming up in the bullpen. The Arkansas freshman didn't get in, so his team in the College World Series right now, but he's in the Cape.
Arkansas getting underway just a few moments ago. Elimination game in the World Series. 3-1 to Holcomb. Called strike, sinker low and outside. Count moves full to 3-2.
Just an amazing pitch right there.
Razorbacks taking on the UCLA Bruins after they fell to LSU earlier today. Big moment here. Bases loaded, 3-2. The payoff pitch to Holcomb. He bounces it towards short. A chance for 2. Kirsch goes to second for 1. The relay to first is not in time. Great hustle down the first base line from Braden Holcomb. The run scores. And the tying runner now just 90 feet away, but 2 gone in the top of the 7th. The score, Brewster 4, Bourne 3. Jamie Shevchek, the Whitecaps manager, on his way out onto the mound. He points to the bullpen. And that does it for Nate Britton. We'll step aside. Hayden LeFew seems to be the man coming in. Try and shut the door on the Bravos in the top of the 7th. We'll step aside for a moment.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
The new pitcher into the game for the Brewster Whitecaps is Hayden LeFew, lefty out of Wake Forest. He enters with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Here in the top of the 7th inning, a 1-run ball game. It's 7:29 local time. Yesterday's game ended due to darkness at 7:35, so we're right about that time. There's a good chance that this top of the 7th could be the end of the game. LeFew one of the best relievers in the country. Comes from Wake Forest, had 59 strikeouts in 34 innings. Was the Demon Deacons closer at the end of the season. He's already appeared on the Cape once this season. Went 3 innings, gave up a hit, no runs against YD on opening day. Logan Hughes stands in the box. A base hit would tie the game with the runner on third. LeFew comes set, lefty-lefty, first pitch. In for a strike on a fastball right down Broadway, 0-1.
He's maybe the best guy in the league for this position right now. A great opportunity for Brewster to shut the door on Bourne. They've got this rally going, but could be stuck right here.
Wait on third. 0-1 runner going. Sosa puts it in his back pocket as that's a called strike. The count 0-2. A base hit here would most likely give Bourne the lead with 2 very fast Vanderbilt guys on base. Riker Wade at third, Braden Holcomb at second, but Logan Hughes has to put it in play. Down to the count 0-2. The kick and the pitch. Half swing, did he go in the dirt? Yes, he did. Sosa tags out Hughes. He's not happy with the call, complaining as he walks back into the dugout. That does it for the top of the 7th inning. Bourne strands runners on the corners, gets 2 runs back, as it looks like the umpires will not talk here, so we might have a little bit more game to go. We'll step aside. The score, Brewster 4, Bourne 3. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Just about to get going in the bottom of the 7th, but before we do, let's send things to our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, who's got some stuff on tomorrow's Fenway Day.
Thanks, Adam. Tomorrow, the team, as well as the other Cape Cod Baseball League teams, will head up to Boston to work out in Fenway Park in front of scouts from all 30 MLB organizations. This day used to be for select players from the Cape League that were handpicked by the Red Sox, but over time, they have changed it so every player gets an opportunity to work out in Fenway Park. Matt Hyde, the Cape League MLB liaison and the New York Yankees Northeast area scout, told the Cape League senior writer Adam Green that it's hugely beneficial for them as scouts to see them all on a major league field. He said it helped them scout Aaron Judge because watching him on his Cape League workout day showed them just how different he looked from all the players. He said it is not just about their ability level, but also how they go about their work. It helps reveal character traits that stats just won't show.
Ariel, thank you so much. New pitcher into the game for Bourne here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a right-hander out of Wake Forest, Nate Wysong. He comes in relief of Jonathan Stevens, who looked really solid in his first outing with the Bravos. Went 2 innings, gave up just 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Devon, what should we know about this right-hander from the Demon Deacons?
Well, Wysong's a really exciting guy. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in here. Like you said, out of the Demon Deacons, in 11 appearances, no starts, and a 9.45 ERA. But the most innings he pitched total last season was just 1.
First pitch, in for a strike. A big swing and a miss from Dalton Wentz. 2 Wake Forest Demon Deacons going at it, with Wentz at the plate, just finishing up his freshman year.
Don't forget
as
Keenan
Wysong
as the catcher, too.
You're right. It's a full Wake Forest party here. 0-1. Fastball inside, 1-1. Wysong, a native of Pavia, Pennsylvania, went to Chestnut Ridge High School and was the 6th-ranked right-handed pitcher out of Pennsylvania last season. The senior year of high school had an ERA of 1.05. It's just unbelievable. 1-1. Outside fastball, 2-1.
He's got a windup so similar to Verlander, too, where he comes very spread at the stretch and then fires home. Maybe not as big as Verlander, but he's got a smooth process.
Right-hander looks in at the belt, 2-1. Low and inside, another fastball, 3-1 the count. The last game that Brewster played at home ended at 7:31 against YD. It's 7:35 right now. 3-1. Fastball called, strike on the outside part of the plate. Wentz was ready to toss his bat back towards the dugout.
And it was right now, yesterday, that the Bourne YD game was called. I feel like we can play more baseball in this lighting, though, this level of lux, right around 1,000.
3-2, hit high and hard down the line in right field, and it drops just foul. A few feet to the right of the line. Wentz was already on his way towards second, but he has to retreat back into the batter's box with the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes here with no outs in the bottom of the 7th, and the Whitecaps up 4-3. Wentz taking his time, walking back into the box. The entire Brewster bullpen is emptied out. Everyone in the dugout. Wentz, the left-handed hitter, stands in. Wysong kicks and deals. And it's hit on the ground very soft towards second. Dolan Fields throws to first. It's in time for out number 1.
If Bourne wants a chance at their bats to come back up, they need to make this quick. It's kind of a boom or bust opportunity for Nate Wysong right now. I don't know if that changes the way you pitch it all, but it needs to end quick.
It does. I agree with you that right now it definitely feels like it's light enough to continue playing. I mean, it seems just like it would be a cloudy day pretty much. First pitch to Daniel Cuvée, in for a strike on an off-speed 0-1.
If we do get a ball hit into the outfield or hit high somewhere, that's kind of the signifier, because if it's only a little bit hard to see, then this game should be called.
Anything that's not 100% perfect, 0-1. Fastball at the knees, 0-2. Anything that's not perfect visibility just isn't safe enough. So
is it safe and is a disadvantage to who's ever in the field?
It's very true. Wysong at the belt. Cuvée stands in, relaxed stance, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball, a little foul tip from Cuvée, but still into the glove of Keenan.
And just what Wysong needed to do right there.
Now batting, the designated
Sends Carson Tinney to the plate.
Number 8, Carson Tinney.
Big right-handed hitter, 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Wysong takes a long look in, now kicks and fires. Fastball just misses low. 1-0. Tinney standing in, ready with his bat swinging back and forth beyond his right ear. 1-0, swing and a miss.
Wysong doing a good job right now attacking the zone. Again, you're just in a tough spot. You feel rewarded after keeping Brewster scoreless here, but the game could still end.
Wind has pretty much died down as the 1-1 is a called strike on a fastball in the zone. It's still very pleasant out. 66 degrees. This is the first game this season that I haven't had to put on any sort of sweatshirt.
Not for me. Got the quarter zip on since first pitch.
1-2. Fouled back off the helmet of the catcher Keenan. It's supposed to get pretty hot next week up here on the Cape, potentially up towards the 90s.
Meteorologist friend Connor Parsons relayed that information.
Connor, one of our incredible interns. 1-2. Just up and inside, 2-2. We do have a great crew of interns this season in Bourne. big traveling party. Bourne always brings a big group of people to every game. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wysong does work quick. He puts the Whitecaps down 1-2-3.
And the umpires stay put.
Brewster heading back out onto the field. At least the pitcher is. Everyone else taking their time. No, it does look like we're going to continue playing on. But we'll keep things here for a moment.
Marty's Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Additionally, K-Plex, are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with the Cape's own Keith Bildeau? Join us at the K-Plex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the K-Plex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne. Find us on Facebook or at vk-plex.com. Elevate your game at the K-Plex.
We'll step aside for just a quick moment. 8th inning coming up next, and as we get towards the end, I'll hand the play-by-play back to Devon Jarvis.
It's the top of the 8th inning from Stony Brook Field, and Bourne might just have their last chance to take the lead or tie. Devon Jarvis alongside Adam Gotkin for your coverage on Cape League TV. And, you know, a funny thing here in Brewster, Massachusetts at Stony Brook Field, there's no lights, so games can get called early. Bourne right now down 4-3 against the Whitecaps in the top of the 8th inning. And they've got the heart of their order up. And Noah Franco, the only man that Brewster has ever put a home run over the wall against, this season at least, is now up to the plate for Bourne. A home run to right field in the 2nd, a strikeout in the 3rd, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 6th. The pitcher he goes against is Hayden Lefew, the Wake Forest sophomore. He's a spectacular talent. Lefty versus lefty battle from the stretch. Lefew works. First pitch, a called strike on the inside edge of the zone. Sky's getting a little dark here. Yesterday, a game was called at 7:35 that Bourne played in. The 0-1 pitch, just a bit outside. Lefew working very fast. It's the pace he works at, regardless of if Brewster would like to work fast. The 1-1. Off speed, high and inside. No swings yet from Franco. Franco has had a spectacular game. That fielder's choice he got on, he showed off his speed, showed off his arm all the way back in, I believe it was the 2nd or 3rd inning, and had that home run. The 2-1. This one, he skies out to center field. Back on it is Head. He's just with his heels on the warning track and makes the grab. Thought that was over for just a moment. A little bit premature.
Solid contact again there from Franco. That time a changeup right down the middle. He hit hard, 95 off the bat, but just not hard enough. Wasn't able to get the full barrel on it.
Campbell Smithwick now in the batter's box from the left side. Another lefty-lefty battle. The southpaw at the mound, and Lefew pitches. Fouls it back into the netting, just over the netting. And makes it a 0-1 count. Campbell out of Ole Miss. Grew up in Oxford, Mississippi, went to school in Oxford, Mississippi, and is now in the transfer portal, so he will be away from home for the first time in his life. The 0-1. Fastball low and away. Smithwick today, a ground out to the mound, flew out another ground out. So he's looking for his first hit. Went out on the board, no one on in the top of the 8th. The pitch. Well-located breaking ball in the inside part of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Lefew is the guy you want in this situation if you are Brewster. The 1-2. Fastball upstairs.
Lefew just has that look to him. The look of a guy who you think is going to make it to the big leagues one day. Really imposing out on the mound. He really stretches his left arm out and comes pretty far over the top.
The 2-2 cracked right side. Maybe a broken bat. Yes, it's foul. So Smithwick, after the hard contact, will fetch a new piece of lumber. Exchanges his black wooden bat for a blonde Louisville Slugger. And a big moment here with one out on the board in the top of the 8th. Bourne still needs one run to keep this game alive. Smithwick stands back in. A wide stance and crowds the plate in the back of the batter's box. The 2-2 from the lefty. Grounded, first base side, and foul. LeFew doing a great job right now. Came in to spoil the party for the Bourne Braves in the 7th when he struck out Logan Hughes. The 2-2 pitch here. The southpaw and LeFew gets set from the stretch and fires. This one out into right field. It will drop for a base hit. The first of the day for Smithwick. And Bourne has their game-tying run in the base path.
That's a big one. Gives your team a lot of confidence against LeFew. And now you have a really interesting matchup with Jimmy Keenan coming to the plate, someone who is very familiar with this guy on the mound. But catches him all the time at school. He knows what's coming. As here is some of this stalling. Jamie Shevchuk heads out onto the mound. He's going to try and slow this game down, allow the darkness to continue to fill the night sky.
Folks, one more reminder.
We'll see if he does finally point to the bullpen. So Shevchuk usually will point to the bullpen as he first starts walking out. That time takes longer, and the taking a long time is everywhere because the man coming in before jogging in took a few seconds, had to take, a big sip of water and all that. Like, they take as long as possible here.
Is this the play you want to make, though? Because it's unrealistic that we see a top of the 9th regardless. If you stall right now, it's not likely they end the game in the middle of the inning, Adam. So you could just be limiting yourself for a chance to tie the game or take the lead in the bottom of the 8th.
They could end it halfway through. They could end it in the middle. There is nothing that stops the umpires from doing that. And I think the more questionable part about this is you're taking out LeFew, who is one of the best pitchers in college baseball. They've got Justin Shadek coming in to replace him, who, don't get me wrong, is good. Weekend guy at Rutgers has really solid stuff, but not someone who's used to coming out of the bullpen. Has to do it right here. That can always just be a shaky thing.
On Sunday, he came in for 1 inning. No hits, no earned runs, and got the save, 2 strikeouts in his just 1 inning.
So you have to think there is that confidence for him to be a guy who can come in as a reliever because he got the save already. This is a guy who can really touch the upper 90s when he's fully feeling it. His fastball is just electric.
Fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, and changeup in his arsenal. So he's got good stuff. His main pitch is that fastball 56% of the time.
Biggest issue at times is the command. It can really just go away at points. But it wasn't an issue against Falmouth.
Yeah, he was really solid in that game. Like I mentioned, 2 strikeouts. The redshirt freshman is now in the transfer portal and is looking for a new home after his season at Rutgers. So it's the top of the 8th inning. Your score 4-3. Brewster leading Bourne. 1 runner in the base path. And it looks like Peyton Bonds will be pinch running for Campbell Smithwick. We see Bonds for the first time in the field as a Bourne Brave.
Once again, Jimmy Keenan at the plate.
Bonds a fun talent. Yes, that name does sound familiar. He is Barry Bonds' nephew. But now it's Jimmy Keenan. The Wake Forest catcher has been solid today, coming off a walk. First pitch. Low and outside. Shadek on the fastball there, stands at a imposing 6'6", 235.
You wonder if the reason behind the change is maybe because Coach Shevchuk doesn't like the familiarity between Keenan and the other Wake Forest pitcher.
The 1-0, runner goes, ball is low. The throw over to second, gets by. Bonds is going to make his way to third. He's going to get in there in time, sliding head first. The Braves are 90 feet away from tying this game.
Well, there it is.
He's got great speed, showing it off right there. So many guys on this Bourne team with speed. And now this is a completely different ball game. Keenan, with a sacrifice fly, can tie this game.
That's how you make your Bourne debut. You do the little things, steal second, get that extra base to third. And again, now if you're Jimmy Keenan, you just got to put the ball in play.
That's exactly what Bourne needed. In one pitch, the runner's on third. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Only oxygen for Keenan. A 2-1 count now with one out on the board here in the top of the eighth. Bourne still needs that one run to tie.
With that, runner on third and one out, the entire infield playing in.
Everyone with their toes on the infield grass. 2-1 pitch here for Shadek. Cut on and empty. Count is squared at deuces. Good job by Shadek to bring himself back into this at-bat. He works from the stretch as a righty-righty battle. Shadek also could have come into the game because he's a better matchup against the hitter. The 2-2 pitch. Low in the dirt, half swing from Keenan. He doesn't go. The lefty and a few, maybe not as good situationally against the righty and Keenan. Full count for Keenan. One out on the board and a runner on third. Bourne down by one. Here's the pitch. Skied out. This one will be shallow outfield. Head charging in. He's going to make the grab. Bonds from third will fake going. Won't go. A good throw by Head from center field. He would have been out by a mile.
But if had absolutely no chance, it was a shallow fly ball in the first place, and then a, as you said, picture-perfect throw from Head, a one-bouncer right into the exact spot that you want to set up your catcher for a tag.
So now 2 outs on the board in the top of the eighth inning. It's Doolin up to bat. He waves his bat 3 times, the biggest moment so far in the Cape for Bourne. First pitch from Shattuck. Half swing from Doolin, a called strike. 94-mile-per-hour fastball in the bottom of the zone. Bonds looming in from third base. He takes 5 steps closer to home. Now just 75 feet. The 0-1 pitch. Just upstairs, Doolin watches it by and shakes his head.
Doolin's had a really good game. He's swinging the bat well. 2 singles, including one in the last inning.
Last time he was up, he scored after getting on with a single. The 1-1 pitch from the stretch. Outside edge of the plate. A well-located fastball from Shattuck. He's 1 pitch away from potentially winning this game for Brewster. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on third. Bourne needs 1 run. The pitch. A called strike 3. Doolin laughing. Did not think it was close to the zone. And Bourne are down by 1. Fielders will come out for Brewster. They're hoping this game is called. We're through 7.5 right now. And let's see how they decide it. Brewster's running onto the field like they've already won the game. Scott Landers is petitioning to keep it going. And now a conference between the 3 umpires, Ryan Tamir, George Stransky, and Pablo Bustamante.
That's game, they called it.
They're going to call the game, and just like that, we're called due to darkness at 7:54 p.m. Bourne had a chance with a runner on third, couldn't capitalize, and your final score is 4-3 Brewster. The Whitecaps advance and stay undefeated. They're 4-0 before tomorrow's off day. It's Fenway Day for the Cape League, and that means we'll be off. We return Thursday, where the Bourne Braves take on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks at 6 p.m. at home. It was a fun game, a lot of opportunities for Bourne. It just seemed like when there was runners in scoring position, either something went wrong or they couldn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, they couldn't. The situational hitting just wasn't there. They had the chances in the 7th inning and in the 8th inning, but just could not bring home that tying run. And it's another frustrating day for Bourne because I think just like yesterday, the Bravos are thinking if this field had lights, we would have won.
I think that's the way they think as well. It's just a tough spot. It's really that bottom of the 2nd and top of 3rd. You look back to where things went wrong, where Cade Lewis trips trying to field that ball at 3rd base. 2-run score that inning where he could have had a double play right there. And then in the top of the 3rd, Bourne have 2 really close calls at 2nd and 3rd base where Cade Lewis was thrown out sliding into 2nd and Braden Holcomb thrown out at 3rd. But a lot more opportunities you could have had to bring it closer, and Bourne just couldn't do it. So it's a 1-run loss for Bourne. They now settle with a 1-2-1 record on the season. It was a pleasure covering you all afternoon. On behalf of our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, our producer, Gabriella Voccio, my fellow play-by-play broadcaster, Adam Gotkin, I'm Devon Jarvis saying so long from Stony Brook Field. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you Thursday. Have a good one.